don't you sing along? Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend? For it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever brave. Memories like this never end. No, they don't fade away. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on, and I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Close to the sun. Here's to the ones who let shine through the rain, the ones who stood for something more. We won't forget your names. The tide is high, say goodbye, we set it sail, and all those midnight secrets told, we'll take them to the grave. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on, and I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on, and I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend? For it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever brave. Memories like this never end. No, they don't fade away. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on, and I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Close to the sun. Here's to the ones who let shine through the rain, the ones who stood for something more. We won't forget your names. The tide is high, say goodbye, we set it sail, And all those midnight secrets told will take them to the grave. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun.
All right. All right. So this is an open hangout. The way open hangouts work is I put a link out there and swear to God and hope that nobody crazy shows up and breaks everything. Um, so it's always interesting. You never know what you're going to get. And so, but usually what happens usually is we have good conversations and we chill. So if you would like to join, I'm going to put the link here in the chat. And most of the time we keep it chill in these. There might be some friendly bantering poking here and there, but generally we keep it chill. So I did want to let you know I am starting back Thirsty Theist. Thirsty Theist is an interview show where I just want to interview different people in the community. The goal is to humanize each other. I know that we're all avatars, or talking heads or people, looking into the screen and on each other. But my hope is that maybe connection and understanding sometimes is helpful in the midst of all the wildness that goes on. So tomorrow, I'm coming back with Thirsty Theist. I've done 20 episodes thus far. I have a whole playlist of previous interviews. I did take a break for a while. I've come back, and I'm going to be interviewing Divine. Divine was brought into our community in the most interesting way possible. We're going to discuss online activism and things like that. We're hoping that'll be a good, enlightening discussion and a fun discussion as well. So I'd appreciate if people would show up tomorrow. It's going to be 6 p.m., I think. I think we put 6 p.m. I have to double check my settings, but Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. So would definitely appreciate support and obviously commentary and chilling is always really good. In those interviews, I keep it softball and friendly. I tell people to show their best self. I hope that you are ready to join. So in the stream here, I have waiting, I have Sinister Purpose, and I have Midnight. And again, the link is out there. And if anybody specifically wants a link, they can always tweet at me, and I'll check my Twitter every so often as well. Welcome aboard. How is everybody doing tonight? Midweek, sort of midweek, I guess. Tuesday, Chicago Tuesday.
Yes. How are you,
7
Lady
p.m.
Midnight?
I'm well. Could be better, but I'm well.
Did anyone see that wonderful video earlier today?
Oh God. So that video, like, people are asking me to do like a commentary on it, and other
Wait,
people are
what
saying, "Oh,
video?
it's so dumb." It is so dumb that I don't even know if I can do a commentary. I was so disappointed.
Wait, what video?
The culmination of Cheshire's many, many receipts of 3 years came to this.
I guess I missed it. I don't know. I was too busy. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I was too busy.
All right.
Porpoise will explain.
Let me sum it up for you as quickly as possible. It takes Cheshire 13 minutes and 42 seconds to say she's a goddamn moron.
It takes how many seconds?
13 minutes and 42 seconds.
Oh. I don't know anything about her. She's just funny, I guess.
The most shocking thing that was shown was the weird rando that everybody reported that attacked Steve's offspring. But that was like this one-off random weird rando that everybody voted down and got him tossed off. Like, so like I don't know. Like, I don't know what, and it was just so, like, it was lacking charisma, it was lacking rhetoric, it was lacking facts,
Intelligence.
it was lacking a timeline, everything was out of order, intelligence, like, it was lacking in so much that I was just like, this makes me sad. It was lacking in artwork. Like this artist fails at art, and that makes me sad all over.
Also, if you leave the McRae critic community, you can check into you can check out the McRae critic community at any time, but you can never leave. It's like Hotel California. Because that was one of the weirdest takeaways from that video.
I mean, well, you're saying nobody leaves the cult?
I think I've been talking muted this entire time. That's hilarious.
To be fair, there have been a lot of accusations of McRae's group being a cult, and I think that's what brought this on.
Well, I mean, I guess if it's a cult, does it pass the bite model? I don't really remember everything about the bite model. I just know, what is it, like behavior control? What else?
Well,
Damn. But yeah.
It's definitely not a personality cult because Steve doesn't have a personality.
All right. Any large enough lack of personality called to appease Headless here?
I mean, you know, when you really think about it, Headless doesn't even have a personality. He doesn't even have a head. How can you have a personality without a head?
I don't know. He's got some flair. He's got like yellow and red, and that makes you hungry.
Any YouTube figure with a large enough following, personality or not, will have kind of like a cult following around them.
Careful, Porpix, because you're also describing G-Man.
Basically.
I think G-Man's followers are mostly his haters.
I am but a tool.
Doesn't matter. It's a personality on YouTube, and it's got a following.
Well, cult of person.
You did not say they have to like them.
Cults of personality aren't necessarily a bad thing either.
I mean, there's some people I could sign up for their
Russia.
cult. If Mouty started a cult, I'd probably sign up. I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
Yeah, but we probably just sit around making spaghetti all day.
I would love it. What's
I'd
wrong
sign up
with
for that.
pasta?
To play
I'd sign up for
bass.
this. I would wear a little pasta hat even. I don't care.
What was I doing? Wasn't I playing the harmonic when I started the stream? But I had the mic muted for a good reason.
Oh, were you? Well, it's so funny. I was like, I responded to your Cheshire thing. I said like a tiny rant, and I was like, I'm muted this entire time. I was like, well, that works, because I said I wasn't going to talk about it.
I mean, it's kind of hard not to talk about it. Then again, you could just ignore it. I don't know.
Well, like, I just want to talk about her artwork and how I was really sad.
You know, it would be like talking about Steve doing truth tables correctly. It would surprise me if he did it consistently.
I think this means that he was going to watch us, but then he got high, but I don't know what that means. There's a leaf and like a mushroom going sideways, so I'm thinking it's like smoke. I don't know. I'm not educated in these things, so this is my guess.
Someone nuked Greenpeace. That's what I'm getting.
Oh, is it Greenpeace? Okay. I learned things. You, not yo, but you. Gio, if you'd like in, you can come in.
Just so you know, you still have the starting soon banner up.
I do.
Because we're starting soon, sir. We haven't started yet.
Yeah, we haven't started yet. The real fun comes like
This
in a
is
minute.
just the pre-show.
Okay, we started. Places, everybody, places. We've started.
Daryl, just because of Steve's use of Draper, I had to make a meme that says Mark's safe from having read Draper today.
Draper.
It took me a long time to figure out who Draper was. Because I thought Steve... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you thought Steve what?
I thought Steve was at first referring to a Mad Men character, which made no sense.
Oh, well, that wouldn't make much sense.
Then I found it was one of the authors of The Bell Curve. And then someone explained to me, no, it's the author of the article he's always referring to in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
It means smoking the weeds.
Making Nancy Reagan cry.
Which, by the way, is legal in my state.
It's legal in every state around me.
Make the world a better place.
But not this one.
That's okay. If it's legal in all the states around you, it's practically legal where you live because they won't be able to stop it.
Well, considering how close we are to the border to one of those states, I don't think they're going to be able to anyway.
Welcome, Geo.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good.
I'm the angry banana.
Well, angry banana.
Do you know how hard it was to comment on a Cheshire and not be snarky and sarcastic?
Oh, did you make a video? I'll have to watch it.
It's not that great, but
You did? Oh, I'll watch it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I was watching some Netflix before this and chilling. So I've had a bout of kidney stones for the first time in my life. So for about 3 days, I've been like out of commission and wonky, and I've been really tired. Yeah, I'm so tired.
You had multiple stones?
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. One's bad enough.
Not a good time. So yeah, that's oddly not as painful as I thought it would be. So like the most painful thing in my life, it's not even close. But like it still was very uncomfortable and messed up my sleep patterns and makes me tired.
So just to make everyone in the room a little scared, I'm pretty sure all of us in here are old enough that we all have kidney stones. They're just too big to pass.
Really? You're just waiting to jump out? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. we all probably have gallstones. All probably have kidney stones.
Well, I don't know. I don't feel it. I guess.
Yeah, you don't have nerves in there.
Yeah.
You only feel kidney stones when you're passing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really only feel gallstones when they give you pancreatitis.
That happened to me. So do you remember that? That was crazy.
Yeah. It's awful, isn't it?
That ended up in a surgery. That actually felt worse, in my opinion.
But I have had pain worse than a kidney stone, even though the kidney stone was pretty bad.
Gallstones kind of feel like, I've never had one, but I've been told they feel like you're having a heart attack, basically.
Yeah, that's
Yes, they do.
It's so freaky. You get this chest pain, and I went to the hospital with chest pain going, am I having a heart attack? And they're like, no. And I was like, this was maybe 2 years ago by now? I seem to get something terrible happening to me every summer. Like last summer it was COVID and my brother dying. The summer before that was gallstones. This year it's kidneys. I don't know what's happening to me, but every summer is something that I get smited for. So
yeah,
I guess prayer works. Answered prayer, G-Man.
It's because God is smiting California repeatedly.
Yeah. It's all the gays. That's why God smiteth us. He smiteth us.
Are you sure it's just not trying to get one person in, like, I don't know, wherever the closet is, and he just keeps missing?
Oops, I missed. I hit you instead.
He's yelling duck, but you just can't hear him.
Dang it.
No, I shouldn't do that.
Well, if it's open theism, if it's that model of God.
Oh, look, Immutable's in here.
You could just be throwing it everywhere.
Oh, also, I just noticed Geo Sam's banana is missing a stem.
I see exiles encourage me. Just think getting older is going to suck even more
Right,
soon.
right.
Damn it, exiled. Exile's giving the words of encouragement.
By the way, the link is only in the chat and not the description.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
it is.
Let me refresh.
Let's see. Is my mic working?
No, it's only in the chat. And it's not even pinned.
Yeah. It is only in the chat. This is true. And
Your
part of
banner.
that. What
What
is
do you
it?
mean? What do you mean? My
Your
banana?
banner is a lie.
My banana.
Yes,
is
your
missing a
banner's a
stem?
lie.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
your banana doesn't have a stem on any of the peeled parts or on the bottom.
Yeah, it does. It's on the far.
No.
It's on the. It's not. I didn't.
Or is it on the
peeled.
back one?
I didn't highlight it enough.
Oh wait, I need to look at this banana. I'm
Mhm.
bringing it up on the screen here. Okay, did you make this banana or did you find this banana or did someone do it for you?
No, I made it myself. So yeah,
Okay,
I
it
like
does
it.
have a
He's
it
good
does
at-
have a stem.
It's quite the
the
character.
stem is on the dark end.
It's on the back. It's on the back piece of the peel.
I didn't
looks like
highlight
a
it
peel.
enough.
I like his lip, how it stuck out like that. He's just like mad.
I like my headcanon that he's angry because someone took his stem away.
He's kind of brooding. He's brooding.
Oh, okay.
I
That was
mean,
interesting. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Do you draw like, or is this digital art, or like how are you?
yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
You should change your name to the Atheist's Worst Nightmare.
The atheist's worst nightmare, huh?
Why would he be the atheist's worst nightmare? What?
Because that's what a banana is.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks for reminding us.
Oh, that's
Banana
right.
Man. Ray Comfort.
You've seen that, right, Gio?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Got it.
It's hard to believe anybody like hasn't heard of Ray Comfort at this point.
It's pronounced comfort.
Hey, Immutable, have you ever told a lie?
I don't think there's a day that's gone by where I haven't told a lie, but yeah, what's up?
Well, then you're a liar.
I know. There we
The
go.
end.
I know. What of it?
Your whole identity is summed up in this one
Hmm.
instance.
My. Now I'm gonna have to become a theist. Whatever
Yeah.
will I do?
Yeah, you need a savior.
I know.
Ray Comfort. I do not miss him.
Where's
Was
he
he
gone?
dead?
You said miss him. Like, is
I mean, he's still going. He's just like less relevant than he was like years ago.
If I'm paying no attention to him, he doesn't. For all intensive purposes, he doesn't exist in my world.
Does
Yeah,
that work
that's-
if we
that's
don't
true.
pay attention to you, Porpoise?
I still exist.
No,
You don't.
We're not paying attention to you, so you don't exist.
No,
Doesn't
solipsism is true, but she's the one in the vat.
Oh man, there was this dude that was guesting on Math Pigs, and he's like, he must have been in some sort of episode because he said he did LSD and then became Gnostic and stuff, and then he was having some issues. Like he seemed like schizophrenic or something.
It's
Yeah.
hard to think that like LSD would get you there. I mean, LSD can do a lot of shit, but that seems kind of like a stretch.
It opens a portal
It's
to Gnosticism and all sorts of stuff, and solipsism at the same time.
All right then.
it's possible with LSD to have a psychotic break.
I would also like to point out, according to some of my old EverQuest guildmates, I'm not really a person anyway. I'm a complicated Turing simulation connected to a song database.
Do people still EverQuest these days? Is that a thing?
This was years ago.
Okay.
I've done some work for MathPig, some graphics work. I'm currently working on something for him right now.
Very cool.
I'm going to show it. It's
We'll bring it up.
no, I have it right here. I just have to switch my camera.
Whoa.
That's pretty interesting. All right
What
there.
the fuck?
Well, okay then.
So I have a pig man in a hammock here,
Yeah, let's call it that.
I don't know what's happening.
There's definitely some action in the picture.
So, I see he's packing. So let's
Apparently.
see. What's the backstory of this? There surely is.
Look, no one really truly wears these. Right?
It's a mankini.
These no. These are a specific kind. These are awful. They pull on the taint. It's just bad.
They pull on the taint. Do you know?
Are
Have
you
tried it?
Yeah.
speaking from experience there?
I am speaking from experience. Yes, it's awful.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Have a
Sir,
very
Serb
did
is
you-
ripped.
life.
He is ripped. Really, truly.
Sir,
he
did you
is.
lose a
Speedos all the
bet?
way. No.
Why were you wearing a mankini? If you lost a
'cause-
bet, it's okay to admit you lost a bet and had to wear one.
Well, no, I was trying to replace my speedo, and
Do you have
I
a picture of
ripped.
this mankini?
And you went with a mankini.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna try this.
You felt the need to replace a Speedo. Okay.
It was my American flag speedo, and the first American flag thing like a speedo I saw was this.
Oh, okay, so you actually just replaced. You thought you had a Speedo with an American flag on it, and it was
No.
a mankini by
I
accident?
knew what it was.
Oh, so you read the package and it said mankini.
I don't think it's. That's why I said I don't think it said mankini. It had a picture
probably
of it
said
though. I knew what
G-string.
Okay,
it
it
was.
had a picture of the guy. Okay, so it wasn't a midget wearing a Speedo pulled up to his shoulders. It actually was a mankini, and you knew that when you bought it.
It's awful. Don't get one.
I didn't need any of these mental images.
I just want to say that I used to be against Speedos, and then one day Serb in a Speedo showed up, and I went, "Whoa, okay,
Yeah.
Speedos can be cool."
It works on some people.
So why does the women's handball team have to wear bikinis, but the male team doesn't have to wear speedos?
That's a good question.
Well, it's because honestly, you can't do sports on speedos.
No.
They crush the testicles. Really, you can't do a whole lot in them. You'll get like chafing.
Actually, the Turing test is just a test to show if computers can fool a human.
What about trunks though? You could do the trunks. You know, the ones that are like boxers, but they're shorter.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of athletes use the trunks.
Well, you have to wear a cup in certain sports. As a man, you have to put a cup, and then you have to put the cup in a holder that holds the cup. So you're like squishing everything anyway, but at least it's got some room. The cup has a little bit of room.
Yeah, and it makes it look like you have a giant package.
And you really don't want someone doing that wearing a Speedo.
No.
Yeah, this is not enough for a speedo.
I mean, I have known women that watch football just because they like it when the boys pat each other on the butt and, you know, all the patting. I don't know why, but that's a thing.
Is that what they call it? Patting on the butt. It always hurt. Maybe this is where I'm from.
Oh, they like wham wham. You're like, ow.
Yeah, like real hard. You know,
Well,
if we're gonna touch each other's butt, we're gonna make it hurt. I guess was the plan.
That Math Pig image I showed you, Math Pig hasn't even seen it yet, so it's been premiered here first.
Oh.
Aha.
He hasn't approved it, but
I hope I'm not the one that started him on that solipsism stuff.
hey, you were on the stream, Spackle, right? With Math Pig and that young guy with the acid trip.
Yeah, so I didn't catch, like,
Yeah.
I didn't think about it originally that this guy could be just, like, I just assumed he was trolling. I was like, this guy's trolling. Because I've seen some people troll with Gnosticism before, and especially solipsism. And I was like, this is just a rerun of another troll. And then, like, it was Crafty that just kind of pinged in my, it was Crafty was the first one that said, no, this person's got some problems. Like, what's going on?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. This person's not trolling, because I was just like, okay, let's look for some sort of remote internal consistency in his brain, you know, somewhere. But like, I didn't think like, oh yeah, you know what, this is a repeat of someone else. We knew a guy named MK who went really
He's
weird.
an atheist now.
I've
Is
heard
he?
of
Is he
him.
back to atheist? He has a
Yeah.
tattoo of a cross on his forehead now, and now he's an
you
atheist.
guys can have him back. I don't mind if you take him back.
Oh gosh.
Man, I still had to watch the entire interview with Smokey. I watched parts of it.
Wait. He interviewed Smokey? When the fuck did this happen?
No. Smokey interviewed him.
Oh, when was that?
When the fuck
I-
was that?
I don't know, a while ago. I think it was either on Smokey the Saint Smokey Saint Speaks or the regular Smokey Saint
Oh, wow.
channel.
Can you link that? That's God. That'd be interesting to see how he reacts to MK. Because man,
mean-
MK is bizarre.
MK,
Find it.
please.
I'm on camera a lot. I've just got to find it. I'm on camera every Thursday too, with a bit of tea in Danish.
You know, it's weird. It was weird actually. A few months ago, I was thinking that like, man, MK's kind of just like dropped off the face of the fucking earth, and now he's back, and that's.
Oh right, I need to go back to his. I need to go to his main channel because he deletes a video after from his Smokey Saint Speaks after he uploads it. So hold on.
Yeah.
Well,
So Smokey is. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to just kind of call myself out at some things that I said during that stream with the LSD and all that stuff, because I was
Oh.
getting really angry, and because I'm old enough to be the guy's father, and he's so young. He was so young, and I just wanted
28,
to.
yeah.
I just wanted to grab him, and just. But and he said, I said to him, how do you know that these things are happening? He says, oh, because of LSD. And then I said, oh, and that was his answer to everything. LSD. And I said, wait. LSD isn't a mechanism for finding out the truth of anything. It's just the only thing you can find out is, there isn't much you're going to find out from taking LSD.
Are you sure? Maybe
It
LSD's
opens
a
your-
god antenna.
It opens your third eye, man. Just fucking trust it.
You were on the edge of the desert.
I am not.
Nah, I'm not going to trust that.
Wait.
But I
Just
said to
outside
the
of
guy, he
Barstow.
says, I said, how do you know that that's what it is, LSD? And he had no answer for that. And I got angry, and I said something I shouldn't have said, but kind of like say, I told him that I'm saying it's not a mechanism. That's what I said.
I'm not.
I'm saying it's not a mechanism, and everyone just shut up, and someone was like, wait a minute, that's not. And I just wanted to call myself out on that, because that wasn't the right thing to say.
You seemed heated, and what he was saying was ridiculous, right? But like, yeah. Like, well, I mean, there's different approaches. It takes all kinds. I think Crafty was right, and I kind of feel like a dope for not catching what she was catching.
Yeah, she was spot on.
Yeah.
When
Fabio did an excellent job, just being like, dude, I had all these things we wanted to talk about, but I think I want to wait till you're in a better place. And like, I was like, okay, yeah, that's probably a good way to handle him right now.
when the drugs began to kick in.
But
So
you know,
he didn't
and-
come out and say that LSD made me aware of the panpsychic monad.
What?
he said that he is
And psychic
God.
what now?
Monad?
He took LSD and was open to the truth that he is really God.
Oh, boy.
And that God is everything. And solipsism is true, and his job is to fight the demiurge, who is also God in him. And he's supposed to cast the demiurge into the pit of fire because he is responsible for all the evils in the world.
What
and
in
all
the?
sorts of-
What?
Right. And so
What
so
the
we were
fuck did he
we were-
take?
we were
Sounds like a
listening-
panpsychic monad.
Yeah, if you go to Math Pigs, like he really is out there, and I guess in a previous conversation with Math Pig, he was really a whole different person, and so like he's flipped to a whole nother person again, like and so I guess he's got a psych appointment coming up, so we're gonna leave him the hell alone.
Whatever the
just-
fuck he took, give me some of that shit, man. Fuck
This
that.
reminds me.
yeah.
This reminds me of the time Steve. Steve had that one guy on. What the hell was his name?
Edward.
I believe that was Edward, but he was talking. Everything seemed fine until it didn't. You guys know who I'm talking about?
I
Oh, I
really
was-
know Edward.
I was gonna bring up Mr. Intelligent Design because
No, that's not the one. That's not the one I'm thinking of. But you could tell this guy had clearly mental issues. I just forget his fucking name.
I remember an Edward that I don't remember him debating religion so much as he did like economics. Of course, that could have just been because he was arguing with me. I don't know.
If Slops isn't more true, why can't I get more people to wear their mask properly?
So this brings up a moral quandary, and I actually am really interested in the input because this brings up a really good conversation. When you run into people, and at first you maybe think they're trolling or whatever, and you're like, you got some weird ideas, and then you find out maybe that they're dealing with something severe like schizophrenia or like in a huge manic episode or DID even, and you find out that they've got something that's so difficult, and then you go with like, well, mental health is one of those things that like we have a lot of people that are in the mix with bipolar or borderline or CPTSD or PTSD or depression or anxiety, and those folks are players. But like, when do you say, I can see you're in an episode or something's going on or it's so severe that I just can't mess with that? Like, how do you determine that?
Oh,
That's a good question.
Another question?
No, that's a good question.
The only thing I could think of when I had to do that had to do with my mother, and someone needed to be on her case with some of the stuff she was doing. Or not necessarily on her case, but she was playing, I don't want to go too deep into it, but she was doing some clearly dangerous stuff because she was in a manic episode. And it was very hard to get her committed, like right before the end of her life. But
yeah, so like some folks online we've witnessed, they'll go through like a weird chain. So like, for instance, there's this one dude that was like, God is speaking to me audibly. And we're like, what, bro? Yeah, God is we are talking audibly, and I am a prophet. And then the Christians surrounded him and propped him up and gave him a channel and were insulating him. And when people were like, maybe you need to get mental help, they're like shouting you down. How do you know he needs mental help and stuff like that? And you're like, because he's talking to somebody audibly, like, like they're there. And then eventually it led to him tattooing his forehead and peeing in bottles and never getting off a stream, 24-hour streams, never getting off.
Oh, you're talking about MK. Okay.
Right. But in the beginning, people tried to help him with mental health, and they were actually blockaded by about 10 theists.
MK is so bad that he looks at his cell phone, and when he looks at the numbers, he sees a cross.
Really?
When you look at the number pad on your phone.
So I would say, outside of you knowing that they're causing harm to themselves or others, having a distance from them and not really being able to do much about anything, I don't think you have any sort of moral obligation above anybody else to act any differently.
I'm wondering, has anyone ever heard of a weird little operating system called Temple OS?
Oh my fucking God!
Yeah,
you had to bring that up. You had to bring up Terry Davis.
There we fucking go.
Well, the guy had some severe problems, obviously.
Let's cut the guy a break.
But he did create an interesting operating system.
Hey, the man, for all intents and purposes, was his genius. His mental health kind of went to shit, though. Well, more than went to shit. We know.
John Nash has a beautiful mind.
Well, Terry Davis committed suicide a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, nothing we could really do about that one. He was going to do it for a while.
But it's
no, I don't think he did it on his own. I don't know. I don't know whether he walked on the rails and got run over by a train himself, or he was tricked into it. I don't know.
I think part of it was he was losing his cognitive faculties.
He did have a lot of trolls though, like 4chan, Christian.
Yeah. He was losing his cognitive faculties rather quickly. I don't know if he drank, but it could be like that a misstep in cognition caused that to happen with him, or it could just be he planned he planned to take his own life in some way, and a train, hitting him was just happened to be the way he went out.
Hey, I would rather be locked in a room with Chris Chan than Steve McRae.
No, I don't think you want to be locked in a room with Chris Chan right now.
Now, see,
I don't think you want to be with Christian right now. He's
yeah.
I would choose Steve over Chris Chan.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you
Definitely.
guys are
I don't
automatically
think-
assuming the wrong thing. I think violence is sometimes the answer, so I choose Steve McRae.
You can make those comments on your own stream. Kindly do not on mine. I do not endorse violence unless it's a Nazi.
Nah. Sometimes violence equals good.
Well, sometimes it's a necessary evil.
Weapons are to be used with a calm, clear mind without enjoyment.
So, sir, your comments were all based on what you would do in Minecraft.
I don't think so.
I'm talking about being trapped in a room with Steve.
Yes, in Minecraft.
Yeah, no. I'm saying that
No, in
anyone,
Minecraft.
no. Because I'm not claiming I would go harm him right now. So this isn't a claim I'm going to go do something.
Jesus.
I am saying I think just about anyone in this room, given being trapped in a room with Steve, would resort to violence.
But have
And
you
it's
read
okay.
this?
I think it's okay.
There it goes.
I think you would probably have to, because I think he would resort to
Bye,
violence
Porpoise.
at some point.
Well, it depends on how many lobster rolls are there, because
I'm gonna
After so many
I'm
rounds
gonna-
about talking about the definition of atheism, I think I might have to do something.
You're scared, serve away.
No, I had served for a second.
Oh.
Okay, so let's not talk about violence. I am not endorsing violence, even though we're joking. I know that actual violence is not going to happen in this metaphor, but let's not talk about this because, people will not understand because they took that stupid stay away 6 feet away from me thing and ran crazy with that. So let's not do that. I'm bringing Sir back. Jesus.
Man, I might get
Sir,
banned
damn.
for this.
Stop.
Well, I can stop talking about it, but I generally just speak my mind, so I'm probably going to eventually get banned from here. Just letting everyone know.
God damn.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Terry Davis is probably the only person I have sympathy for out of like the mentally insane people that currently were with us.
Oh god, my brain. You said Terry Davis, and I immediately thought of Daryl Davis.
Oh,
I was like,
Yeah,
why would you have
that's
sympathy for Daryl Davis?
yeah, that's a pretty hard gap.
Which, by
I
the
don't know
way,
who
Daryl
Davis
Davis,
is.
a hero. Yeah, sorry.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the bigger black guy that's like a jazz musician that goes around converting all the white supremacists.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember who you're talking about now. He's a really stand-up guy.
Yeah, he deserves the medal.
He does.
I forget what the civilian version of the Medal of Honor is, but he needs that.
Wonder how he does it.
Is it the
And I
Medal
guess
of Freedom? Is
conversation.
that what it is?
Might be. Not sure what it's called actually.
Yeah, Presidential Medal of Freedom. There you go.
Medal of Freedom.
I was just checking to make sure he didn't get it yet. But yeah, I guess there's petitions out there trying to get someone to give it to him.
Yeah, that's brave right there. What he did.
I mean, he's a black guy that literally goes to cross burnings.
I know. I mean, and he went to like
mean-
actual KKK meetings. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
in
yeah,
counties where the police are KKK members.
Now, is
Yeah.
he brave? Is he brave or stupid? I can't.
No,
tell.
he's brave.
No, he's
Yeah.
brave.
He's completely aware of what he's doing.
Yeah. No,
No, he knows damn well what he's doing. But he wants to try and fight the
I mean, he must have some
campaign to the
charisma.
injustice.
He must have some
Some?
charisma.
Some
Yeah, well, a
charisma?
lot of charisma. Do you know what I mean? He must have a lot of charisma.
Of
There,
course he
you
does. He's like a jazz R&B musician.
Yeah, there we
He has,
go.
he has charisma coming out of like every orifice.
That's one way to put it.
Charisma. How does one develop that?
You don't.
A lot of trial and
telling you.
error. Well, you can develop it. It just takes a few.
Well, I think I was explaining to Midnight the difference between personality and like learning how to act certain ways.
Well, one kind of accommodates the other over time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can learn to be less offensive and more charismatic. That's why every politician points with their thumbs.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys were talking about Steve McRae.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
Oh,
were
God.
we?
Were we? Did we really?
Did that happen?
Oh my! Did we bring up the black box issue? Oh my!
That felt like another conversation and another time.
I know.
Well, I'd like to just say that if I was locked in a room with Steve McRae and who was the other?
Christian.
Christian.
Oh, I think they'd want to leave if I was in the room.
Oh, Christian would want to do some things to you. He would.
I don't think so.
Why, Gio? Why would they want to leave?
No comment. I'll keep it at that.
Well, hopefully you're not familiar with Christian and the recent
No,
developments that have occurred with him.
no, I know who the fella is, but I don't know anything. I don't follow what goes
It's
on
hard
with
to
him.
know what's actually true with the recent developments either, because his
Yeah,
trolls
he
are
confirmed
so
it. He confirmed
hardcore.
it. He confirmed it.
But his trolls are so hardcore, or her. Sorry, I suck. Her trolls are so hard to confirm. Like there's so many black cat trolls there that like it's really hard to figure out.
Yeah, this one is actually true though. He confessed. Like he admitted it.
Wait, what did he admit to?
Christian admitted to fucking his mom.
Oh yeah.
That's why you don't want to be locked in a room with him, because you'd be locked in a jail cell.
Among other reasons.
No, you'd be locked in a jail cell right now. Is the point?
Well, yeah, but he may not have actually done it.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
we're
saying.
not
Like,
sure.
right, Chris is the
Even
kind of
even if he
person that
confirms it.
Chris is the kind of person that you could convince her to do. Well, I mean, they convinced her to freeze and drink cum.
He went in excessive detail describing his mother's
Again,
his mother's
you
peculiar
prompt and
traits.
no, dude, you gotta understand. He's easily led and easily coerced.
I mean, I get that.
So he's gonna tell you everything you want to hear. So he's gonna just keep making shit up and going along with it because he thinks this is what you want to hear. It's like this is like the satanic panic crap when they sat down and asked kids a bunch of questions about their satanic cult they're in, and the kids just kept going and going and going, and it got worse and worse and worse because the kid is telling you what you want to hear to answer that question.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't need to coerce Christian to talk about this kind of thing.
Yeah,
So-
you just got to talk about it a lot, and then he'll start claiming it.
So
just
what
have to
I
ask
think
Christian
they
about-
should do, I think they should pull in Discovery every communication ever with Christian to figure that out. Like and every
good
social
luck
media.
Good luck subpoenaing that.
Yeah, it's called you get Chris Chan's phone and computer.
Yeah, and they need to go through and figure out if Christian was coerced into saying things.
See, that's the things that the trolls don't understand. He has a Chris Chan has a record of everything and every conversation you had because they have a computer and a phone that you contacted them on.
Right.
So
I'm
go
not
ahead,
saying-
delete
I'm
your
not-
shit.
I'm not saying this person's innocent. I don't know, but I'm saying this person is the most spongiest easily led, easily manipulated person that I've ever seen on the internet. So,
Well,
I
of
don't-
course, he's mentally retarded.
So, what is the overview of Chris Chan? I've not heard this name before.
Oh, well, there's a 59-part document series you can watch if you want to catch up.
Holy cow, he's done a lot,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, they're the
He-
most
he is-
documented person on the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
The series now is each episode of the documentary is about 45 minutes to an hour long if you want to watch.
Probably not.
It
The
covers his life
latest-
since he was 9 to the current current period here.
what
So
what is
he's done
and-
something bad, I take it.
Yeah.
He supposedly allegedly slept with his mom who has dementia, or her. They keep saying his, and I keep saying his, and I'm
It's
Well,
his.
her.
It's
her.
his.
Okay.
It's
She
his.
is identifying as her now.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going
she-
to.
She slept with her mom, and supposedly,
That's-
but Christian has severe autism, severe, I would guess, abuse. If you watch the documentary,
Sounds like he needs psychotherapy.
very, very spongy, very like somebody convinced him to store their own semen, then drink it. Like, I mean, weird.
Well, it was limited, so you got to recycle it.
Right.
Yeah, remember, apparently you run out after
Yeah.
Like
magical limit.
there's a historical ramping up of how weird it was getting, and
Sounds like he needs a new circle of friends too.
yeah, this is somebody that was surrounded by so many people.
That bridge pretty much burned.
Yeah, this person was surrounded by so many people telling this person to do wild and dark things. I wouldn't touch it because like it was too out there. And now it culminated into Chris saying that they did these actions, and then the cops being called, and now Chris is in jail, and it made headlines on the news even. And then Tucker Carlson is running with it, going, trans people that are actually assaulting their mother, and I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. It's a mess.
The thing is, though, Christian has always been in the public interest, like in terms of like Virginia and their local news press.
Tucker Carlson's on Fox News, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That says it all.
Is it wrong of me to say, but we won't get any more Sonichu?
Well, we stopped getting Sonichu a few years ago, but this may be.
Yeah,
maybe
but see,
the
we
best
will now
one.
never get any more.
At least Alex Jones was interesting, despite his craziness.
Oh, Christian's interesting. It's in his own way. the more you learn about him, the more you're kind of like, huh, this is a very interesting fucking situation.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, there's some people out there.
Yeah. I think this is a genuine thing because the way the conversation started when he divulged this was somebody just inquiring about his love life, which he is very public about, let's say.
I just want to say I'm not replacing the sinister porpoise. I see the comment there. He's wondering if I'm the polite Canadian replacement, and I don't think so. But maybe I've missed a joke.
Well, I don't know exactly what sinister means, but sinister's actually not Canadian, so there's that.
Oh well, then definitely not a replacement then.
Chris Chan's a victim of online harassment community. She's got some severe issues, very severe issues. I did watch the Chris Chan documentary. It was actually fairly enlightening. Actually, it's just a lot to go through.
I can understand people making that argument, but in the same sense, he continued to interact with trolls. So he kind of
the
gets
trolls
what he
also
had
kept
coming to him.
interacting with Chris Chan.
Yeah, but in the very beginning of it, Chris Chan could have easily stopped this by just letting go and not engaging with trolls.
Look,
Okay, and how many lulzcows do you see on the internet who actually do that?
terminally
Quite a
online
lot.
people.
They don't. That's why they're called lulzcows.
Terminally online people can't stop interacting with whoever they're interacting with online.
I mean, a lot of content creators have done that, like DSP. That's pretty much why. And his dynamics changed because he's utilized it as a marketing tool, but that's... My argument, I think, is that he could have avoided part of what's happened to him, but his issues stem back from his childhood too. So, yeah. As far as Christian's concerned, being a mute for 6 years is going to fuck things up, no matter how intelligent or no matter how caring the parents are.
And then changing your name because the bear animal thing at Chuck E. Cheese mispronounced the name that they were given, and then going wow and having that epiphany and start speaking. Then
it's hard to say what all Barb and Bob could have done more for their child, given the
no, Han, I'm using the timeline.
Well, didn't he lose a lot of weight at one point?
That's debatable. I have a very hard time believing he has lost weight given his diet, if you want to call it that, because he eats, like, out of a 13-day cycle, he eats McDonald's like 10 times, or used to eat, rather, McDonald's 10 times out of those 13 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you're autistic,
he is not...
like I think she's got something more than autism, frankly. But
it's way more than autism.
One of the things with autism is that there's definitely more than autism going on. But one of the things with autism is a restrictive diet and liking the same things, and like very, very sensitive about change, texture, taste, like really hypersensitive.
Yep.
And part of it's that, and part of it is he doesn't cook anything. Like he
Wasn't there a story about using
dinners.
a toaster or a coffee maker and burning down part of the house with an electrical fire?
There was. I mean, I don't know if he was making that for his mother, though, or if he was making something for himself.
Well, it's the fact that this is the level of cooking he gets to.
I don't know if a toaster or a coffee maker would start an electrical fire just leaving them on.
It had to do with the cord, and there was wear and tear.
The cord was frayed, very frayed and exposed.
Yeah.
So the reason why the she thing is contested, and I'll just give the rundown of why. It's not because she assaulted her mother, which is what people assume. It's because the trolls have convinced her to do so many things. That one of the things was, hey, I think you're trans. And so some people have wondered if, this is something that's been one of these spongy effects.
That.
Yeah.
It's more than just that. It's Christian saying that the reason he became trans, his logic here, was that if he identified as trans, he could date lesbian girls, and that would allow him then to, to potentially find a boyfriend-free girl and, potentially fuck them. Right? It's nothing about his transition, in my opinion, is honest. It's all part of his methodology to try to get a boyfriend-free girl.
It seems like a roundabout way of doing it.
Well, it throws out a wider net.
It is. It's just
think about it. It throws out a wider net. He can get women who like men,
and women who like women.
He can get women who like women, and then there's a larger dating pool.
Yeah, but isn't that dishonest, like you said?
Well, we're also dealing with somebody who spends a hell of a lot of money as an adult on Lego.
We're talking about a person who spent like $60 on an individual Lego piece when they could have got the set that included the Lego piece in addition to other Legos that would have cost like half that price.
I got Lego right there.
Well, no, okay, wait a second here. When you go out and buy a box of Lego, okay, you got a Lego set. You buy a Lego set. Now they come out with another Lego set. It's identical to this Lego set, except the box cover is different because it's got a little different symbol in the bottom corner. Buy that one too or not?
Nope. No. That was a gift.
Christian buys the other box. Then they come out with another box, which is the same as the second box, only this time it's got a red trim down the corner. Buy that one too?
Nope.
Christian does. Because in Christian's mind, they're all different.
Yep, they are.
Well,
but the sets inside the box are identical.
What's the box?
It's the box.
Oh, but
It's about
remember,
the collection and the completeness of it.
and remember
He's-
though too, Christian back like during PS3, PS4 era, he would buy DLC, downloadable content, for games he didn't even own.
And
That's
why
kinda
were they buying the DLCs?
Because they wanted to support PlayStation, Sony.
So they wouldn't go out of business.
Because God
So
knows
odd.
Sony has been struggling financially for so
Right.
many years.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and people out there honestly think that this person that did all these things isn't basically talked into everything that he does.
I know, right? This is the most gullible, most pliable, and arguably not a good person in the sense that like they are, I don't know what's the word, not selfish and
Oh,
with
they
the
are.
worst
They
motives
are.
ever, right? But at the same time, just a sponge, just a complete sponge. Like it's frightening. Does anyone know if Chris was ever on anything like lithium or anything like that?
No, we don't know that. Right.
No,
Okay.
I've
I
never
think
heard of
we
it.
know
Because that would make you more spongier.
potentially he was on hormones, as like part of like him being trans. We know like he
I don't
fucked
think that would
around
do.
like with.
I don't think that'd do
Yeah.
anything. No.
We know he fucked around like with vibration frequencies and like crystals and everything else under the sun.
Oh, that's okay.
But
That's not going to do
yeah,
anything.
in terms of like medications, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I've not seen anybody. I've seen some pretty influenced people, but I've never seen anybody that influenced online. Like it's really odd.
Well, and that's why I said Christian is mentally retarded.
Everyone's quiet.
And you could tell Christian that his shit is magical, and he would believe you.
Yeah, but that retarded thing is kind of a stretch, you think? No?
No.
No, because
Immutable.
you.
When Christian does
There's a
the
better word for
text and
that.
drawings for the Sonichu comics, how much does he sell each one of those for?
Oh man, like I don't know, $50.
$50
Yeah, $50, I guess. I don't know.
per page?
Probably.
Geo, they look like a 4-year-old drew them.
It honestly is like the hot, like the best piece of hot garbage you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
is.
It looks like
is.
refrigerator art that you would stick on the fridge because you stick refrigerator on the fridge.
And the birth of this idea, as far as we know, is just spectacular. Like how he came up with this idea, it just blows the mind. So the way he came up with this was he was having to create a new character for part of his CD cover in high school, and he wasn't allowed to use copyrighted characters. So what is a person to do? Well, make a new character. Well, that'd be a great idea. That's not what he did. Well, sort of. That's not what he did. What he did is he took two characters, one from Sega's franchise, now owned by Sony, Sonic the Hedgehog, and colored it yellow, in the same tone of color that Pikachu was colored. And he called that creation Sonichu. And that passed for an original character according to his high school assignment. And from there, he then made comics mostly somewhat about this new character's life and interesting adventures. But most of them were kind of like weird introspections and insights into Christian's mentality.
He's even drawn out a map of the town they live in,
Yep.
the family, the relationships these characters have, and he's built the entire town of Lego.
Yep. There are characters that are now dead in real life that are part of this fictional universe, or that are part of this universe he's created. His father and his dog are among them.
Wow. It seems like too much work to follow this guy.
Well, like I said, there's a 59-part documentary you can watch if you wish to.
It is still growing, by the way, so
I'll
it is not
pass.
quite finished.
Also, Chris is a rageful virgin, or was, not anymore apparently.
He was a virgin with rage until a prostitute had sex with him, or he had sex with the prostitute rather twice. And yeah, there we go.
Yep. So Chris is like a whole little level that I don't touch. Like I know about it, and it's like this internet legend, but it's so fucked up that I like no, it's not my playground. I don't no nope.
I just watch people who do interact with him and laugh, but I don't involve myself like within the antics that they.
I think the kindest
they
thing
go
would be
through.
to like pull people like Chris off the internet. I think that would be the kindest thing, but I don't
He
think there's a
won't-
protocol for the
No,
internet to do that.
You
There's
put them on
a
a special internet.
And the thing is, too, right? I mean, had Christian not done this, he won't leave the internet because I think as much as like it hurts him to interact with, as much as it hurts him to brandish the reputation he has, this form of communication on the internet, like this form of attention that he gets from people, be it positive or negative, fulfills like a need that he has that he can't get from other places. I think personally, like that's probably why, like during most of the trolling eras that are documented, he didn't just call it quits.
Also, I mean, the trolls are pretty hardcore. Like Chris is getting
some
arrested.
of them were.
Let's drive
Not all.
over. Yeah.
Like Blue Spike was just all the way fucked up, but most of them were kind of just. They were like the Alec Benson Leary arc, which I think is an underrated arc. Like mostly the point of that arc was just to show how hypocritical Christian was by using some of the exact same elements that Christian used in his own artwork and storytelling and justification.
This is where I would say something is the answer.
Something?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to use that spinning GIF image for such a long time. I just finally used it.
I missed it. The is it a loading screen thing? What?
No, it was. I'll put it back up. Let me put it back up. Let's see here.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
just my icon, avatar, icon, whatever. Same thing. Yeah, I made it a couple of months ago. I just never get to use it.
Do you
want to have some? Real fun with that, Sam?
Sure.
You use the original icon where it's just static,
and
you make the GIF long enough. You got to wait for about 5 minutes and it flips once.
That would make it really big.
You will fuck with so many people because all of a sudden your icon flips around and nobody saw it except for one person, and it doesn't happen again for another 5 minutes.
Do you?
I could just change. I could just change the timing.
Do you have to have the paid for version of StreamYard to use animated GIFs there, or?
No, because he just has it on his camera, don't you? You're playing it.
Yeah, I'm using camera software.
Oh, okay.
So
it's
just
the circle's a
actually
bit bigger than ours. All right.
Yeah,
Are you
it's an
using
image.
XSplit or something else?
No, it's the Logitech. It's called Logic Capture.
Well, that's cool.
See,
I have
would
XSplit on right now. Yeah.
I would suggest something way more subtle, and that is not having your icon rotate, but having the eyes blink.
Oh, I have one of those.
Like once every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have one of those. I'll show you that one. It's different, but I'll have to pull it up. Yeah, I have one that blinks.
Waka has one kind of like that, where it does like the eyes kind of go googly-eyed.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Who has that
It
one?
looks hilarious.
Sokka has the pirate one where the eyes like kind of go in different directions.
Yeah, Sokka always has really interesting ones for his avatar.
Yeah, Sokka's underway. Oh, that's cool. That looks like Van Gogh though, Gio. Gio,
Yeah.
are you a ginger?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I looked like when my hair was red. And I wore,
No,
I wore
the blinking's way too fast.
Yeah, I know.
It's got to be static. It just blinks.
Gio needs Visine. Yep.
A fighting urge to burn the ginger.
I need.
Don't burn the ginger. Don't burn the ginger. I like gingers.
Yeah, I'm a ginger. Can't help it.
No, the women ginger can survive. The men ginger have to go away.
Aren't you with a woman
but,
ginger?
Yes, that's exactly why they get to stay.
Women gingers are okay. He just doesn't like men gingers. I don't know why.
It's too much of a challenge.
Because they don't have souls.
Oh, South Park.
Randolph has a kitty.
Careful. South
Smoking.
Park sometimes copies the internet.
Oh yeah.
A smoking kitty.
Yeah, the soulless ginger was a meme long before South Park did it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the South Park episode where Butters was saving the special goo, and Cartman was using it as a performance-enhancing sports drink?
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. You could thank Chris Chan for that.
Get out.
Oh really?
Yep. The whole
Really,
incident with
that's what
Chris
that
Chan
was.
freezing and saving the cum in the fridge and then reconsuming it predates
Oh.
the South Park episode.
Oh.
That's
Funny.
So
the
when
only
South Park's
reason-
doing something so bizarre and weird, someone's already done it.
Yeah, the only reason Chris Chan froze it is because he wanted to be a he wanted to potentially like,
Procrastination.
find a surrogate for
Oh
for
yeah.
his daughter that he would name Crystal.
Did no one tell him that doesn't work if you just freeze it in the freezer?
Shh. Can't
No
tell him that.
spoilers there, Serb. Come on.
You can't tell him that sperm are sensitive to temperature.
My brain's going all sorts of places.
If it's good enough for Birdseye, it's good enough for Chris Chan.
So the trope of making ice knife and committing a murder that you get away with because there's no weapon left.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be really confusing to investigators if they found a stabbing victim, but it looked like someone jizzed in all the stab wounds?
What is Hans asking
that
about
would-
here?
That would take a while, wouldn't you think?
So right now, Nate the lawyer has been posting documents that are upsetting Steve, and Steve is working on getting Nate disbarred. It's all over Twitter. right
Really?
now.
Wow.
Right now, Steve is saying that he got
Oh.
people working on getting Nate disbarred,
Oh,
being
he's got.
unethical, and he's tagged Ruhif in it. You know, the $1 million without any class. You know that guy.
I'm going to guess that Nate is posting documents that are publicly accessible. So good luck,
Yep.
Steve.
Okay,
Yeah,
so can you fill me in on what the new recent juice is with this?
Sure, I'm working on it right now. Let me see if I can bring it up. 1 second.
Yeah, can we just get a feed of Nate's Twitter?
Does any of these documents relate back to the
Serb, are you
non
blocked?
sequitur crap?
Are you blocked by Steve at all?
I don't think so.
I
Here,
blocked
I'm
Steve. I blocked him last week.
All right, I'm gonna put this over here, and if you could like bring, are you on a computer? Or are you able to bring up Twitter?
So
I'm on a computer, but my upload is awful. So as soon as I
Okay.
start showing something, I'm just going to tank and drop from the chat.
Okay.
So to get somebody disbarred, you have to show misconduct that's intentional. There's quite a process, a review process going. At least here in Canada, it's pretty extensive. They do a long investigation. It's not something that happens overnight, and very few of those actually turn into disbarments. My guess is in the U.S., it's probably not too far off from this.
I don't think there's a moral code of conduct.
Oh, I'm not saying there is. Here in Canada, there is somewhat. And the big thing is privacy and all that sort of thing. And if you're breaching somebody's privacy, that would be grounds for disbarment fairly easily. But most people are pretty smart about that and aren't violating that way.
In this case, I think it's probably the case that Nate is sharing documents that were publicly available.
Yeah, they're public.
So it's not.
Yeah.
Nate's not going to share anything private. I know that for sure. He won't even have access to it. If he did, he understands all this stuff. I'd be very surprised if he did that.
No, it's not private. That's not the problem. It's that Steve's saying that it's being misrepresented. So can you guys see that when I'm sharing? Is that
the harassment restraining order / temporary restraining order that was based on verifiable misinformation was dismissed. Verifiable misinformation? Like, that's an oxymoron, isn't it? Contradiction? I am currently suing the person who filed the harassment restraining order for defamation. Yeah, good luck with that, too, because a judge signed off on it after seeing sufficient evidence to justify issuing it.
Well, that's the thing. He's saying it was dismissed. Was it actually dismissed?
And he's tagging Emily. No, it timed out. He's tagging Emily.
Okay.
Emily T. Baker.
So what? So I mean, is he using dismissed, not realizing that that's a legal term for something?
So
the man said in purple titties here.
The question's very important. Does he have proof of a court order of dismissal of the restraining order?
Well, no, because it timed out. Right, there wouldn't be one.
Okay, yeah, then that's not a dismissal. That's an expiry.
So it does say stipulation and order for dismissal of harassment restraining order without prejudice. There's that right there.
Still doesn't change the history that it was granted.
Yeah.
And dismissal doesn't necessarily mean that it was invalid. It could just be that the matter was resolved between the parties, right? And the court says, okay, it's not ours anymore, and just dismisses it. So it depends on the reason for the dismissal.
Yeah.
What does the reason? Does it have the reason there for the dismissal?
Let me see.
Because if the dismissal says that the parties spoke, they got together and had made an agreement, then that could be a reason for it.
It's because of the NDA. That's why.
There you go. It's a third-party agreement that the party has agreed to.
Yeah, it's an NDA. So.
Yeah, an NDA is an agreement.
So Unicorn says gang stalkers. You can look that up on Rational Wiki, by the way. Team YouTube and YouTube Legal, and she's sharing Nate Lawyer's thing. As requested, here's the paperwork. This harasser used YouTube as one of the tools. A minor is also alleged to have been harassed, restraining order, other documents, and there's like lists and documents there. I guess Menace is getting flagged as well. And then that guy is getting flagged for resharing Nate. And Exile's getting flagged for that as well. So like Golden Unicorn's doing her job as, the bestest sidekick ever.
Yay.
Being like, oh my gosh, flailing around. And she's been doing that. Intrigued, of course, the usual
There's
suspects.
a clown picture there. Go up a little bit.
Oh yeah, Steve McGoofball.
Oh my God. I've seen that guy around on YouTube. He's hilarious.
Let's be honest.
So he's claiming that
that's hilarious.
So he's claiming a charge was dismissed when it wasn't actually dismissed for him, or
it was dismissed. It wasn't a charge. It was a harassment restraining order. It was dismissed without prejudice because an NDA was signed.
Okay.
But he's acting like it never happened.
All right, so dismissed is proper, but I think he's still using it in a way that's dishonest.
Oh, of course. Like I've been cleared, kind of thing, right?
It's sir.
Yeah, it's I've made an agreement, so I don't have a restraining order anymore.
So if he was to just say that the matter has been resolved and the court has dismissed the restraining order because it's been resolved, that would be fine.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want to say what I did was, yes, ma'am, I'll do what you say. Please take the restraining order away.
Right.
So is Nate trying to bring that up as if though? Hold on, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not sure of the situation. So is Nate trying to say like that the restraining order like is still in effect, or is he just using that as a means to highlight some of Steve's behavior?
I think Nate is showing facts, and I think it's upsetting. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. He's just showing the fact that Steve did at some point have a
Right.
restraining
right.
order.
Steve can't.
Okay.
Steve's pissed off that he can't retcon this crap.
Wait, also, wait. Is
And he's
Steve,
pissed off at Nate that Nate is sharing it, and Steve can't retcon it.
And they've been tagging Emily D. Baker, and she gives no fucks. She's just moving on with her life, as you can see. She don't care. She's like, "Hey, pumpkin spice, y'all."
So I have a question. Most do not
She knows what
disclose
Twitter's all about.
Yeah,
Right.
she just doesn't care.
most non-disclosure agreements, right, include not disclosing that you have a non-disclosure agreement.
Mm.
Oops.
Would Steve dropping
See,
even if it's public, would Steve dropping the document showing that he got one, would that be a violation of that?
It may depend on jurisdictional rules and laws and what's in the agreement as well, terms within. So that's kind of a gray area question. Nate would probably be probably know what to say about this.
This is just like a trip. Like, I don't know enough about this, but like Nate's commentary. I mean, he knows. I mean, I don't
Nate
think
is
he
sharp.
would just be randomly throwing this out.
Nate is a sharp lawyer. Steve has no idea what he's getting into with him.
Nate
That's all I can
constantly
say
does
about-
things that I want to give him money for.
Because
As
Colt
Nate-
wants to spin and confuse you about the harassment restraining order given to Steve McRae, I'm creating this thread. All evidence and documents are listed below. This is how you kill lies with facts. And this is why Steve right now is saying that Nate needs to be disbarred and he's unethical because he is linking facts. And apparently that's really upsetting.
Well, remember, Steve has a role to play in this community as the authority on the status of the definition of atheism. So
He is a
Yeah, I
king.
reject
He is
that.
not a pawn.
I've thoroughly rejected that already.
it's honestly, even if he's right, it's just stupid to be putting this much time into such a minor point.
It's obsessive. It's weird.
But have you read Draper?
I've done better than that. I've spoken with Graham Oppie. I have, and the subject of atheism didn't come up.
I've been so busy. I have to work on that thing somewhere, Randolph.
Spackle, you got like a current picture of King Steve
No,
with
not
the
ready.
hair and with his hair dyed black and the aviator sunglasses.
Oh God.
Oh, he's trying to cover up his age, is he?
Yeah, it's really funny
Can
actually.
you find one?
He needs to ask Ruhef to buy him a sports car so he can finish the midlife crisis.
No,
kinda
no, sir. What
multitasking right now.
what I figured is he found the glasses at a bus stop.
Oh, real? Wow.
This is my guess. Okay.
No. What?
No. This is my. Come on. He eats dollar store lobster rolls. Yeah,
Really?
he found the glasses at the bus stop.
Like, there are plenty of like $3 glasses you can buy from a gas station that at a distance looks fine.
You're buying lobster rolls at $1 each. Do you think you got $3 for glasses?
Probably. You probably got them.
Okay. Anyways, let me just finish my thoughts on this. So, anyways, he finds the glasses. He dyes his hair, and now he thinks he looks cool. But really, what he looks like the DJ who does like overnight radio, late night radio.
Yeah, kind of. He looks like an old DJ at a strip club too.
Yeah, that's what I
he's
mean.
like, he's trying a little too hard not to look old and be creepy in a strip club. That guy.
Yeah.
Slow mo is getting fixed, Daryl. I see you. So just stand by. Stand by. All right. Slow mo is fixed. You should be good.
You know, and I say this unironically. Steve needs Jesus.
You think he'd be better with Jesus?
I think he would.
Yeah, because
Really?
in Jesus, Jesus would give him a job mowing lawns, and then he'd be a productive member of society.
No, I mean like
Oh.
I mean like the religious.
Oh, the other Jesus.
Yeah.
Why Jesus and not Muhammad?
Oh, but because I don't. Well, for one, Jesus generally isn't known for killing people, right? I don't need Steve blowing things up.
I mean, there was plenty of killing people in the name of Jesus. It just
Yeah, just not by Jesus though.
yeah, that's true. I think about it. I mean, when Peter did cut off the guy's ear, Jesus was like, "No, bro," and put the ear back on. There was that.
Jesus supposedly brought people back to life. Muhammad supposedly chopped people up. Okay, there's a big difference.
Oh boy.
Oh no, we said that Muhammad's the desert warlord. We're gonna get hate.
But I think he doesn't. Doesn't there even passages of him fighting?
I would
in
have
Quran?
to. I'm gonna have to try to read the Quran at some point. I've only read excerpts, so I'm gonna have to read more about it.
Like I don't know. I don't think I've never seen any Muslim deny that Muhammad ever fought anything. Right? They might deny that he was a warlord because that's
They deny warlord. They don't like the term warlord. No, yeah, but they get real upset when you mention the 9-year-old wife.
Yeah. Although, I mean, if you're a lord that rages war, then you're kind of a warlord.
I just have a problem because they go, Muhammad is a perfect man. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, point of contention right there.
Really?
Yeah, I think if Steve actually believed Jesus was real and was really into it, he'd be a better person. I think Steve needs a daddy, basically.
It depends on which Jesus he believes in.
That's true. That's true. I mean,
yeah, there is more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Well,
it's
he already
Jesus
tried
that
Mormon
says pick
Jesus.
up your sword.
Yeah.
Mormon Jesus is interesting too. Like, and then there's the whole, I mean, you can have a God King complex and be a Mormon because eventually, hopefully, you make it to God King, right?
Yeah, if you're the best kind of Mormon, you'll get your own planet or whatever.
I could see the appeal to someone like Steve-O. Plus, they have the secret handshakes and the veil and, all that stuff.
And that really fashionable underwear they don't show anybody.
Okay, so let me be more specific. Hippie Jesus. That's the kind that Steve needs.
Yeah, hippie Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Hippie
take
Jesus.
Up your sword and let's I've not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. And they're like, the law. Like Stephen Anderson Jesus would probably be bad stuff.
Yeah, he needs the hippie Jesus, and he needs the wrathful father. That way, he gets the stick and the carrot.
Nate is a big meanie. He's terrible.
Well, you know what? I have a GIF image. You guys know the synagogue? CJ? CJ, the synagogue? I think that's what he calls himself. Yeah, but he was on a debate, and it looks like he's sitting in a closet, which is whatever. But he starts picking his nose on stream, and I filmed it and made a GIF out of it of him picking his nose on a live stream.
Okay, now you're a big meanie.
Can we see this GIF?
Yeah.
Yeah, make it your icon and then just blow it up.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, I got one. I could probably share.
Throws people under the bus. Just keeps driving.
There it is.
He really wrote that.
Does he eat it?
Got this ugly bugger on the screen.
Just picks it. Okay.
He just picks it and keeps it in his finger.
What do you? Oh God, what do you add? Add this. Okay, what do you?
I don't know if you guys can read that.
Who is this guy?
This is Steve McRae at the
No,
top.
not the one on the bus. The one picking his nose.
Who
Synagogue.
is that? CJ Synagogue. Yeah.
I've never heard of them.
Oh.
So on the top, Steve McRae is arguing that testimony is evidence, and on the second one, he's saying video isn't evidence. And there's a third one came out recently. I need to add to this where he's saying that other people's testimony are not evidence.
See, when I've testified in court, and I've been in a number of court cases as a witness, and even as a plaintiff, your testimony, what you're saying does count as evidence. Now, is it accurate evidence? It's up to the other side to defeat that, but the court does accept that as evidence.
Well, yeah, and I think that was Steve points in the first one, right?
Yeah.
But then Steve never holds to what he says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of misleading for the average person to say, "Oh, evidence, that must be true." Well, no, whether it's true is a different matter. The court just classifies it all as evidence, all these exhibits, and then from there they determine which ones are accepted and not. That's what the whole case is about. Well, part of it anyway. Pigs in space. Hope y'all are well.
I like that one. The Geo Sam one that's like doing the like.
The jiggly one is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh yeah. I made that in Blender actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's part of a intro for one of my channels that I didn't use, so I figured I'd maybe make it into an icon, and
yeah,
it's
That's
a
fun.
GIF.
I like that.
Yeah, I turned it into a GIF.
Yeah, no offense to you, but that might be a bit aggressive for you. That's like really in your face.
Yeah, I know.
for an intro.
I didn't use it, so there you go.
Goodbye, Immutable. I didn't see you said that you're going, so goodbye.
Oh.
Immutable, like, gosh, I think this is the first time he's been on one of my streams.
He's got the bug. Oh, Randolph stopped trying to get a price on his head. Okay.
Oh, there's a price on whose head?
I thought you were trying to get a price put on your head.
No, I'm not interested in that.
With the editing the Kabbalah or Cabal or whatever the hell. It's called.
You mean this? I think I know what you mean. You mean this picture here?
Kabbalah? Am I pronouncing that right?
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Kaba.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
It looks like that, but all black.
But without the rainbow.
No, but what's on it there?
Just a rainbow.
Rainbow flag.
Okay, it's the rainbow.
Oh,
flag,
and it says Muhammad's Fabulous Dance and Club, I guess.
Disco and Club, yeah.
Happy hour grinder users 20% discount.
It does kind of look like that, huh? One of those blacked out buildings you drive by.
Yeah. I think it looks better with the rainbows. Do you?
I think it at least looks funnier with the rainbows.
I think that thing needs that color. I love that
seriously.
picture. I think it's great.
The world is lucky. Go ahead.
I'm shocked at some of the content that is left up on YouTube by a lot of the Muslim leaders. So, like you hear the things that Steven Anderson preaches, but I found some stuff that's arguably worse, and it's left up on YouTube just because it's Islam. I don't know. It's untouchable. I don't know.
Oh, that reminds me. So this is going to make me sound like a crazy right winger, right? So I'm going to preface this with, I hate Trump. I don't like Trump at all. Don't you think it's a little hypocritical to ban Trump for telling people to march down to the Capitol building, but not ban Al Qaeda for basically beheading people and murdering people and committing not Al Qaeda, sorry, Taliban, murdering people and raping women?
Who's not banning Taliban?
Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Taliban have a Twitter page?
They have multiples.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's like 5 Taliban leaders that are allowed to stay on Twitter.
Please report Taliban, thanks.
Well, sir, you do understand by allowing them to be there, you've always got the Twitter page going, you see the feed, and then you can read it. If you ban them, then,
Oh yeah.
Where'd
Well,
they
look,
go?
I'm not making an argument why one should be on the
Okay,
internet.
all right.
I'm making an argument that it's a little hypocritical to have one off and the other one on. Like,
Okay,
like
No.
if it's okay to rape women and murder people, it should be okay to tell people to march at the Capitol building.
Well, I'm pretty sure I knew that there was a Hezbollah hotline there. Like, so, like, I'm a little shocked about Taliban, but yeah, like I know that Hezbollah's had a place on Twitter for a while as well. Let's see, Spackle, what do you think about these Republican anti-vaxxers that are getting sick and some are dying? I think that they're human beings, and although they're stupid, I don't want them to die. So there's no glee or hopefulness. In fact, some people that I care about are refusing the vaccine right now, despite all efforts of me convincing or trying to convince them or having them try to talk to people that like know more than I do, or trying to link evidence and things like that. Despite all things, they are just so dug down deep, and I blame a lot of the idealistic rhetoric that is sunk in and dug in, and they've made it about good and evil and about like loving America against the globalists instead of an actual disease that we need to prevent and lives. So I am absolutely upset and frustrated. That being said, I understand why people in healthcare are like losing sympathy for folks that are refusing this and aren't doing their part. So like I think it's terrible. At the same time, I do think that when we choose to take risks, sometimes that bites us. And the unfortunate thing, the upsetting thing is that the anti-vaxxer might not necessarily be the one that gets sick and dies. That anti-vaxxer might get some kid that has cancer sick, or some older person sick, or somebody that has a immune problem sick, and they're the ones that bear the consequences of somebody's selfishness. So yeah, I think a lot of things, and it's upsetting to me, but I yield the floor to anybody else what they think of anti-vaxxers getting sick.
I have so many things to say about this. I'm not sure what I can say though.
I don't want them to get sick. I want them to get vaccinated if they can be. And I know they don't agree with it, but I still encourage them to do it, even though they caused my Facebook account to get permanently disabled. And Facebook, with all their false accusations, Facebook said I'm not to use their system anymore. So I don't, even though I disagree with Facebook's decision. So I really don't want people to suffer. They can have their views and all that, but really the health stuff needs to be taken more seriously. I read just the other day that insurance companies, health insurance, life insurance, they're starting to drop coverage for people who aren't vaccinated against COVID-19 for any illnesses or deaths resulting from COVID-19 contraction.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's the fairest thing I've ever heard I've ever heard anything say about it. I think that's perfectly reasonable. If you're not going to take care of yourself, we're not going to pay for your health bill. There you go.
Yeah, the insurance companies are just starting to do this now instead of right at the beginning. So it's like, this is about, the message I get from that is it's about time that everybody should be vaccinated by now.
Yeah. I think maybe that probably should have been done a lot sooner. A lot of the other things, though, I don't agree with that people are doing to people that haven't been vaccinated. Right. For basically the question for me is any vaccine, including this one, there is a small chance it will kill you. There's a really small chance. And I'm not sure how many empty chambers there needs to be in a gun before we force someone to play Russian roulette.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old fella. I'm like in my 50s, and my mother is still alive. My father, he's long gone, but she doesn't want to get the vaccine, and she's not anti-vax. She just doesn't want to get it. And I'm speechless. I don't know what to say to her.
Well,
it's terrible. I think it's terrible.
So I think our vaccination numbers are high enough that once we can vaccinate children, I think we'll be above the herd immunity number.
Yeah.
So I don't know how big of a problem this is right now. I mean, it is right now because we could be above that number currently, but I think we'll get above that number given a small amount of time.
But I don't understand a lot of the science behind, like, once herd immunity is established, what happens with the virus? It just dies? I mean, I don't know.
It can. You can make a virus go extinct, but generally the herd immunity number. It's an estimation too, but the idea is that so many people have a resistance to it that the rate of which the disease can pass on is lower than it needs to keep going.
Oh, I
Right.
see what you're
So
saying.
people will get over the virus faster than they can give it to someone.
It's like a
essentially.
battle of attrition in some ways.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Why don't they explain it on the news or like what the way you just did? It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not listening. Maybe I'm not listening.
I'm sure some news stations have done something like that somewhere. It's not all the time, so it's probably buried by all the other BS.
Yeah, but you explained it, and it took you like 30 seconds to explain what that was. I don't know. Maybe I gotta listen more carefully, I guess. I don't know. But thanks.
You're welcome.
I wasn't aware that the vaccine could actually kill people. I always understood that it's safe because it's a dead or hobbled version of the virus.
Every vaccine has a death count.
Oh, okay. Huh.
This is actually not because of the percentage, not because of the rate of death per injection, but because of the total number. This is the most deadly vaccine we've ever given any people. But it just has the highest number because it has the highest number of vaccinated people.
I thought the flu shot was pretty high up there.
I mean, wait, it is.
Yeah, but not everyone gets it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people that know they have an issue with it don't get it.
Yeah.
Right? People
Are
are
you-
more aware of it.
And
Okay.
sir,
You're talking U.S.
smallpox.
population, I guess.
Yeah, smallpox would be a high number of people being vaccinated, but there were fewer people then when that went around.
So I'm just going to say that when you get vaccinated, they're taking precautions and making sure that you don't have a reaction to it. So what they're doing is, with me, I had my vaccination, and then I had to wait 20 minutes to make sure I didn't have an adverse reaction. You're set up with what to do if you do have an adverse reaction. You're set up pretty good. The likelihood of you dying due to some allergy effect or some weird immune system thing is so minimal that it's worth doing. But also they are taking steps to help you out and not just send you on your way immediately in case you do have a reaction. So I don't know. I think they've been pretty responsible about it.
Oh, they have. I mean, the people that die from it die because I think it's the spike protein. Spike proteins do damage to your body. It's just the amount that's in the vaccine is really small. So it's only going to hurt people who have like other extreme or like illnesses or disorders. And there are some people who otherwise could get it, but are ordered basically by their doctors to not get it because they're in like delicate conditions.
Oh yeah, like rare conditions or immune compromise kind of things. Yeah, yeah.
That's where the death count comes in because there are people that have those conditions that don't know it.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason why they try to watch you on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do.
And this is why if anyone has a condition and they're worried about it, you go talk to your doctor first, and then he can tell you if it's okay, and then you go get it.
Yep.
Of course.
And there are some random conditions that is the case. And if you have that random condition, the people around you, your family unit or whatever, you have to be more careful and do a better job quarantining, and they have to help you do that as well. So it's kind of a big deal.
Well, the people who like the anti-vaxxers, like where do they get their science from? I mean, I don't get that.
They don't get their science from anywhere.
Well, you know, I mean,
Well, I mean,
don't
s- there's like
YouTube
the
videos.
there's like the occasional thing comes out that they try to use. Like there is the study done on the spike proteins. Like I brought up, the spike proteins actually does damage to you,
uh-huh.
to cells, and they'll
Right.
pass that around and say that, well, therefore you should never get it. And they don't understand that the amount of damage of the spike proteins that would cause in the vaccine is really tiny.
Right.
Like it's basically unmeasurable in an adult.
Oh, it's that minute?
Yeah, 'cause there isn't that much in a vaccine, right? It's not like you're actually being pumped full of a virus that can reproduce.
This would be a good subject for Doc Savage or
Yeah,
who
Yeah.
else? Doc Savage
Mel.
or Fiona probably would be good at this.
Sam would be good at it too, probably.
Actually, GeoSam, I'm sorry. The places that they get their science from are places like Facebook.
Yeah, most of it is Facebook news snippets of some person in an authority position saying one thing or another about not getting it.
All right, yeah, but see, I see a contradiction there because I mean, if they were to get sick from something, they would probably go to the doctor, right?
No, they don't. They,
I mean, some of them won't.
you're assuming.
Well, I'm
Some of these
asking, I don't
people,
know.
some of these people also fall in the same group of people who would go to a homeopathist.
I mean, if I had something wrong, I had a pain inside me or something, I would go to the doctor because who else would I don't know who else I would trust. Homeopathy? Come on.
I just realized we need to tell those people that the vaccine is like 99.9% water.
What's the 1%?
Oh, that's the actual vaccine.
Leon says a Facebook friend's father spent his life protesting abortion and refused to get the vaccine because someone told him that there were aborted fetus tissues in the vaccine, and he's currently dying of COVID.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame. You know, if it's preventable, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's
Look,
complicated.
Like I don't want to wish for someone's death, but that seems like an issue that's going to fix itself.
Yeah, if they die.
So I'm not like, I don't want people to die, but if someone's going to be so dumb that it's going to end up with them dying, then I'm not worried about that problem.
So what are you saying here, sir? For the next 5 years, we'll see a reduction in the number of anti-vaxxers, one way or the other.
Yeah, there will be.
Yeah, the problem is the anti-vaxxers can take other people. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We can always take calculated risks. You can drive a car without a seatbelt and take that calculated risk of like, well, I'm driving my car without the seatbelt. If I get in a car crash and bash my chin on this, whatever. I guess nowadays it would be the airbag, but like, whatever your brain meets, some structure of the car. That's the risk you want to take because you want the freedom of, without being the seatbelt. But the problem is that your seatbelt doesn't necessarily put the other drivers at risk per se. So like it's not the same thing where the vaccine, you can suddenly put other people at risk that are immune compromised or have cancer or a little baby. A little baby's in the hospital with COVID because somebody didn't get vaccinated. A little baby.
So there's this. So here's the thing. Like the COVID virus, and especially some strains, can end up putting children in hospitals. But children are generally going to be okay, more so than even any healthy adult. Right? The people I'm worried about are the Aboriginals. And it's because I learned this fact in school forever ago. Aboriginals, full-blooded Aboriginals, have basically zero immune response to COVID viruses. Like their immune system isn't set up to deal with it. So there's a real chance that if COVID gets put into Aboriginal populations, they all just die. Like just all of them.
So does that mean that the vaccine has no effect for these people?
No. The vaccine does, but a lot of Aboriginals don't trust the white people, and
Okay.
with
Well,
good
no.
reason.
The thing is, if you're saying that their immune system can't deal with the COVID-19, if that's the case, the vaccine is just a dead version of the COVID-19. How is it going to deal with that in practice?
No, but it's not a dead it's a spike. It's a spike protein
Okay.
that
Okay,
has
a limited version.
that has an RNA attached to it that gives your
Yeah.
cells directions to create proteins that let your body identify COVID virus.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I know there's different types. I'm sorry, I used the wrong one there. But the thing is, if this is like the real thing in a way that you're practicing with, that won't actually hurt you. If their immune system can't deal with COVID at all, then how is it going to be able to deal with?
They're absent of what is it? I forget of there's something in your body. It's part of your immune system. I forget what it is. That basically your body is set up to make the defense for every possible virus.
Okay.
Right, and a certain cell in your body has to find that compound and reproduce it. From what I've been told, that Aboriginals are lacking the thing that deals with COVID viruses, not just the new one, but them in general.
Part of the problem with COVID too is COVID makes some people have an overactive immune response, where your immune system then starts attacking all your friendly cells as well, and that's like where you're seeing people that are having system failures in like their brain, or like not just everybody thinks about the lungs because that's the one that most people hear about, but COVID attacks your brain, it attacks your heart, it attacks your kidneys, it attacks people's intestines. Like it's not just your lungs, and
it just breeds in the lungs.
Yeah. It's interesting because it Fiona can explain it actually really well. I'm terrible at this, but she did a really good at explaining that it's getting tricked into attacking yourself. So you could have supposedly a good, strong immune system, and then it just takes out the friendly cells.
So there's an immune cell that's part of what's normally, and I'm forgetting all the names. I wish someone here that knew biology better than me. You have an immune cell that's part of the quote unquote first wave of your immune system that is indiscriminate. Right. There's a specific cell that does it. It does it for every disease.
I clicked a link in my Discord and I have no idea why I'm here, but hi.
Hey, this is an open hangout. Current thing on the thing is the COVID stuff and the vaccines, and the question on the floor originally.
I'm sorry, the what stuff?
The COVID vaccines.
Never heard of it. What's going on with that? What is it?
Hi, Ethan.
Jeez.
Hi, Randall. What you said? CONID? What is CONID?
COVID.
It's first I've heard of it. What is that?
You've been sitting at home now for a year and a half. What's been going on?
Yeah, I'm at home all the time, so I don't know.
Did you get the COVID-19 vaccine?
What's that? Vac what?
Did you get the COVID-19 vaccine?
Is that the 5G thing that puts the microchips in your brain?
The immunization against the COVID-19.
Yeah, I've got that.
It is the.
I actually heard
LoJack.
no, but seriously, what I heard is that the COVID vaccine actually kills the microchips that 5G put in your blood, so that's why you should get it.
That's what we need to pass around.
But the thing is, the COVID microchip, it gets stuck in some of the blood vessels, and that's where the clotting comes from.
Right.
Oh, this is good news because Ethan,
because the chips are too big.
This is really good news because it means I can finally shed all these magnets off my body.
Correct. And the COVID vaccine kills all the microchips that the 5G puts in your blood, and it makes liberals mad.
It's 5Bs.
COVID vaccine. They get really mad about it. So
it's pronounced 5Bs.
Just go with it. It makes liberals very mad.
Right.
When you get the COVID vaccine, guys.
With every stick of the vaccine, you are fighting globalism.
Absolutely. I cry myself to sleep every night. Okay? Yeah. Are we all good?
Okay, so basically this means
really it's just a conspiracy from big toilet paper.
So basically this means that someone's going to have to invent 6G, and then we can start this all over again.
It's already here. I will show you. This guy right here. Come here. He invented 6G earlier. That's what he's been working on today. Good job, buddy. 6G.
6G inventor right there.
That's the 6G inventor. This him right here. Good job. Good job inventing 6G. You're a good boy.
This is great.
You're a good boy. And 6G actually stands for Great Gandalf Gamer Grandma Go.
Oh, you didn't.
I think
Great.
Ethan's microchip. I think Ethan's microchips might be acting up.
It's
Yeah.
they're acting up. My microchips act up.
And I thought it
sometimes.
had something to do with gamma rays.
Gamma rays, right? Yep.
Without the rays, because there's only
I mean,
G.
look at this guy. Look at this. You can tell this guy is a gamma ray expert. I mean, you just look at him. You're good at gamma rays, aren't you, buddy?
Oh, this is so much fun. I want to stick around, but I have to go. It's great talking to you, everybody here. Thanks for hosting this holy spackle.
All right, thanks for popping
You
in.
need to come on my channel soon, please.
Yes, let's figure it out on Twitter. We'll get the schedule going. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, DM me.
Okay, we'll do. Thanks. Bye bye.
Randolph Richardson has left the airlock.
I'm sorry for telling everybody about 6G. I think that was supposed to be a secret.
6G.
Yeah.
They're not ready for 6G
They're
yet.
not. See, his tail stopped wagging. He was not ready to tell anybody. He's mad at
Well, now he's afraid that T-Mobile's going to steal it.
Okay, so my job until the end of March, I have a contract. It's a work at home thing. Anyway, so I'm here all day, every day, right? Well, his new girlfriend that moved in next door, they decided to talk today, her in the backyard, him in here, while I'm in training, and I'm like, shut up. And they're like you hear her talking outside and him talking in here. And I'm like, go outside. She's out. Just go outside. You don't have to yell at her through the wall. You can just go outside. She's just outside. And I don't know. He wanted to yell at her from in here.
Mhm.
So that was my day.
It's a dog thing.
It is a dog thing. It is a dog thing. And
My
listen,
dogs scream at each other every day.
they do. And listen, you didn't invent 6G. He did. So maybe he knows something about yelling at girls through the wall. Maybe that's what you should start doing.
I'm sure that is how you keep all relationships in good health, is to yell at each other through the wall.
I mean, it's working for him so far, right?
I've never tried that.
Me either, but
Either that or it's dogs just can't detect their own echo.
oh,
You know, they're in a room, they bark, they hear the echo, and then they think another
Right.
dog's barking at them, they bark back, and
that actually does make sense.
You know, I just thought about it.
next thing you know,
maybe-
they're stuck in this loop of barking because
Yeah.
their echo.
Oh, we get stuck in that. What were you gonna say, Spackle?
Is your dog's name Franklin?
It is.
Okay, so maybe Franklin was feeling pretty heavy-hearted, and he was actually having confession through the wall.
Oh, maybe he was. He's had other girlfriends before, so maybe he was telling her. Maybe they were going over like their past relationship.
Yeah, and
You
he's
know.
just, he was too embarrassed or whatever.
Right.
Maybe even shy. That's a good point.
Oh. Well, I'm talking about this. So I'm sorry to completely change the subject on you, but I have to tell you about this. I've wanted to tell you about this because I want to hear your opinion. All right. So I was on this panel the other night on Twitch, and we were talking about basically conflict, okay, and conflict resolution. And there were a couple of people there that were saying that all conflict is about domination and submission. All right. So I first want to hear your opinion on that. And then the other part of it was, which I said, by the way, was bullshit. But the other part of it was there are some people that are uncomfortable that feel that watching pornography is cheating. And the one panelist, who you'll be surprised by this, is a bit of a right winger, said that if any woman told him that, he would just leave. And I said, well, maybe that's the kind of thing you compromise in a relationship. And he said, well, how do you even let them bring that up? I believe is how he said it.
Let them.
Yeah. And I said, well, you have a conversation with a partner where you say, what are your, let's communicate. And he thought that was insane. So I'd like to hear about your feelings on conflict and whether you think conflict has to have domination and submission, all conflicts.
So here's what I think. Conflict, argumentation, whether heated or unheated, usually involves two things, sometimes both at the same time. But usually it's an attempt to persuade the other person, usually. And the conflict usually escalates when there's a lack of understanding in there somewhere. And then it escalates even more because it's not about dominance. It's usually about disgust. If the conflict involves something that disgusts you, it becomes even more heated, typically. So like, I don't think it's necessarily about dominance. I mean, for some people, maybe some guys, they think it's about winning and dominance. I mean, you do see that on Twitter and stuff. I pwned you. You know, they could use even philosophy, something like that, as a pwnage tool, science. I mean, we do see that. That is an aspect. But if all conflict is just only dominance, well, then it's pointless because it's just bullying and abuse. That's my opinion.
What does everybody else think?
I just got back. What are we talking about?
I don't know, but I'll say this. I don't think Spackle ever read Draper.
Jesus.
What I miss?
Ooh, ouch. Service, I was on a panel on Twitch the other night, and the topic was conflict. And there were several people on the panel that felt, not currently, Han, that felt that all conflict had aspects of domination and submission. That one party had to dominate, one party had to submit in all conflict. Yes, Leon, like your partner.
If somebody's submitting, how are they conflicting? By the way, anyway,
so that's a really low fidelity image of conflict, right? Because you could have conflict that ends in a compromise in which both parties are submitting on some points and dominating on some points.
Right, which is what I was saying, but I was apparently very wrong about that.
Yeah, you're saying the win-win, but the other group you were talking to was describing the win-lose.
Yeah, I mean most wars were ended by suing for peace. Right. Which means the quote unquote losers had some stipulations that they didn't have to give up on.
Right.
Because it's a negotiation. But
sure. Yeah, there's different types of surrender. For instance, one of the biggest unconditional surrenders that was demanded and was given was during the Revolutionary War when the Brits took Charleston. And I believe the federal general was Clinton, or was Clinton the British commander? Anyway, I don't remember anymore. But he sued for peace like 4 or 5 different times, trying to say, we want to get our troops out, we want to do this, and the Brits just kept digging parallels, and they were like, nope, we want unconditional surrender, and they got it. But that's rare. Usually, a siege is costly, and it's costly in both personnel and resources. Sieges are not the best way to take a town because usually the town is quite destroyed once you've taken it. And you don't want an unconditional surrender. It's not usually good for either side.
Yeah. Well, even that, specifically, even during that time period, a lot of unconditional surrenders actually had conditions, like the party demanding the surrender would give certain conditions before they even issued the surrender or asked for the surrender right. Right. We demand you to surrender. We will treat you fairly. We won't imprison certain people or put certain people to death. Right. They'll make promises to entice surrender.
Right. I mean, the
unconditional means we won't negotiate with you.
Right. Like usually the commanders would be put under house arrest or sent back to the main army, that sort of thing.
And that the total unconditional surrender without any sort of promises is extremely rare. Like extremely rare. Because who's going to surrender to someone that's just going to kill you right after you surrender?
Exactly. Like no one's going to do that.
the mental aspect of conflict, like a mental struggle, like a kind of like an incompatibility of some type. That's like opposes like needs or your wishes or drives or like some kind of external or internal demand of some kind. That would be like a mental kind of conflict, which isn't necessarily, you're not necessarily giving up anything per se. You know what I mean?
For sure. Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah, where there's no what did you call it? You said there were two words you used to describe what was talked about. You used two
domination and submission. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So that doesn't come into play very often with mental struggles because it's an individual thing.
Right.
So that doesn't usually involve another person. It can, but it doesn't always.
Right.
So that's another form of conflict.
Like, history is basically a series of small wars that end for a season, right? And then start back up during a war season,
right?
Where one territory changed hands during one season and then it was gotten back in another season. And it's basically just continuous conflict with small pauses. But what would they call that?
Well, Thomas Jefferson said that the 1800 presidential election, which he won, of course, was the second American Revolution when he beat Adams, which I don't necessarily disagree with, because I don't think Adams would have made the Louisiana Purchase or sent the Corps of Discovery west, both of which basically cemented the western side of the continent for the United States. So he's probably right in hindsight, but you know, I mean, what's his quote? The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of
tyrants and patriots.
Tyrants and patriots, right? Yeah. So I mean, I think he definitely would agreed with you. You know, now he was referring to a revolution of thought. He wasn't, you know, there weren't any blows exchanged between him and Adams, although that was when we found out about Thomas Jefferson's affair, I guess. Affair's not the right word because she was a slave, with Sally Hemings, of course, where he had fathered children with his slave. That's when all of that came out, was during that election. But you know, that was not, it was a war of words. It wasn't a war of guns and knives.
Yeah, we don't get back to guns and knives with the president until Old Hickory. What was it? Andrew Jackson.
Well, I mean, you could argue the 1860 election when Lincoln was elected. I mean, that led directly to the Civil War.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I'm just thinking of Andrew Jackson because he's literally shot people in duels.
Right. No, I mean, he was the last president to have killed someone outside of war. Yes.
Yeah, him and Hamilton, right? Or Hamilton died, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, he had several duels. I don't remember who the other people were, but I mean, that was like his thing. I'll duel you. I mean, there were
Can you imagine? And can you imagine, like, nowadays, like, instead of Steve trying to litigate everybody, he's like, I'll duel you, Nate. Duel you. Meet you at noon.
One of my favorite stories, from the 1860 election, in 1859, Senator Charles Sumner, I forget who was speaking, but there was another senator speaking against abolition. And Senator Charles Sumner literally walked up to the senator while he was speaking and beat him with his cane. And Southern supporters sent Sumner new canes as a show of their affection for him beating the senator who was, or in favor of abolition. I'm sorry. He was speaking in favor of abolition. And Sumner was from, I believe, South Carolina, and literally beat him with his cane while he was speaking.
Why
So-
am I not shocked? It would be one of the Carolinas.
Yeah, I think Sumner was from South Carolina. Somebody can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure he was the South Carolina senator at the time. So yeah, our Senate used to be way worse than it is now. Yeah, bringing weapons onto the floor is nothing new.
You ever see the British? Like they full on have brawled before too. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
the strangest
like
thing.
recently, like within the past 10, 15 years, there were fights in the parliament. Yeah, that's a thing.
It's kind of funny in a way because they're British.
I
Right.
honestly, as long as the fighting doesn't lead to any specific changes, I honestly think it's a sign of a healthy democracy or representative democracy. You have to have people that actually believe in the stuff they're saying in order to have a fight.
I don't know about that. I think you have to have people with poor self-control, though.
Yeah.
You
just have to have rules that basically.
Yeah, you can't kill each other. You can just beat
you
the shit
can't
out
kill
of
each other, but you also have to make sure that you can't basically win a policy debate via fighting. Right, so I think having fighting is okay. People should be put in jail for it, after the fact.
Right.
As long as no policy gets made because of it.
I mean, I'm a Taoist. I don't really. Charles Sumner was 1856. Oh, it was Preston Brooks. That's right. Representative Brooks. That's right.
Well, wasn't it Rudy Giuliani?
Oh, I've got it the other way around.
Is it the other way?
It was Sumner who was attacked. It wasn't Sumner who did the attacking. So I flipped it.
Sumner was attacked?
I'm sorry.
Preston Brooks did the attacking?
Yes, it was Representative Brooks who beat Sumner. So I did. I had the names right. I just had some stuff flipped. It's been a while since I read about the Civil War period. So
did you guys hear about Rudy Giuliani said something? You guys know who that is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He said something about fighting, wanted to fight with somebody or something. I can't remember.
What is he, like 76?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Did you who was it? Somebody posted a video of him shaving in a restaurant. Who was it that posted that on my timeline on Twitter? Of Rudy shaving the other day.
Why?
I don't know. I get so many Twitter notifications. I can't keep track of them. He was sitting in some restaurant shaving.
Shaving.
Why?
In a restaurant?
In a restaurant, yeah. Is Rudy still melting? Probably.
I would love to fight Rudy Giuliani.
I don't think that's very healthy to shave in the restaurant, but
No.
Yeah,
A lot of
really.
people were saying it was a health code violation.
Wait. Was he shaving in the bathroom?
No, he was sitting at a table with an electric razor. Oh,
that's
I
even
found
weird.
it.
Oh,
I found it.
I thought he was taking like a hobo bath or something. He's just doing it.
No, wait a minute. When you say shaving with an electric razor, was he taking off like a 5 o'clock shadow, or was he shaving like the first time you shave in the day?
It's not really close enough. I'm going to send it over to Spackle. Maybe she can. Can you share on this, Spackle? Oh, can I share?
Yeah, you can. You can share your screen. Just make sure you're not sharing anything personal.
No.
Once you share your screen, I can put it up on the board there.
Hold on. Let me grab this. The commentary is actually quite funny. There's some great commentary. All right. It's Michael Rappaport. If you know who Michael Rappaport is, he is commentating here.
All right. Adding to stream. Are you sharing with sound? Did you hit the share with sound?
There wasn't an option to share with sound, so I think so. Let's see. Could you hear that?
No.
No, there's a little box you have to click.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's a tiny little box.
Oh, I see it. Okay. All right. Now we're good. All right. I'm ready when you are. Here we go.
Look at this shit. Live from JFK. Sunday in JFK. Look at Rudy Giuliani former mayor of New York, you nasty, filthy, sloppy, disgusting, filthy fucking animal. I'm showing it again. Show it again. Shaving yourself in public.
Oh
You
God.
fucking pig. You should be ashamed of yourself. Lock him up, you fucking dog, you. Live.
There you go.
All right, what restaurant was this? The guy said it was JFK.
It was
at
at
the airport.
I think it was at the airport. I think it was at JFK. Yeah.
This is
All right,
so
so, so
bizarre.
he's probably in a
because
lounge or something.
Yeah, well, it's so bizarre because it's common for people to take shaves in the bathroom at the airport. So why
Sure.
is he not doing it there?
Who knows?
There's probably a bathroom just around the corner.
The guy's being
Lazy.
sued for $1.3 billion right now for lying a bunch of shit. And now you're surprised that he shaved in a restaurant?
No, actually, no. I take that as a valid excuse. If you're being sued for over $1 billion, you don't have to give a fuck about life anymore.
Okay, that's
You
true.
can shave anywhere
That's
you
true.
want.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
So for grotesqueness, like,
And then
like
I got to
he's
go to
on a
bed
roll.
after this. I got to go to bed.
Like he's on a roll, dude. Like he's always gross.
Yo, takes out the handkerchief,
Oh,
his nose, takes it booger side in, smears his hands all over it, wipes it into his lips, all over his face. Son, he's wiping snot all over his face, smearing his hands into it. Looks like shit, bro. And he's gonna.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm going to go vomit.
Again, I say he gets a pass at this point
He gets a pass for why?
for being sued for over $1 billion. I don't suspect a man being sued for over $1 billion to maintain any sort of public civil behavior.
he can wipe his face with boogies.
Yeah,
That's okay.
he could walk out here. He could walk out here in a kilt with face paint, and I wouldn't
It's
care.
gross. It's gross. Even if we weren't in a pandemic, it's gross. But the fact we're in a pandemic and he's doing it.
Yeah, it's like tenfold gross.
Like what the fuck? And they were talking about the pandemic too at the time, if I remember correctly.
Jesus.
Oh man.
But still, not to walk around the corner and shave in the bathroom is like the next level of not giving a shit anymore.
Of course.
Gio, you're from the East Coast. Can you explain Rudy to us? Why is he
Hey,
why
I
is he the
don't
way
know.
he is?
I don't get it. I don't know.
You
I
know
wish
what?
I could.
I do see some New York in that, though. Not let New Yorkers specifically do that, but I think
No.
New Yorkers have a certain higher level of go fuck yourself, just in their personality.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that could play into this a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess he doesn't give a shit, and why should anyone else care? You know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I come off like that to a lot of people, like hostile, and I'm just being me, you know. I don't know.
Just being from the streets.
It's just where I was raised. I'm not really a street kid. I wasn't a street kid or anything, but
Well, compared to me, you are. I don't have streets.
I was I was born in Staten Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doxed myself. So what? Go look me up. I don't give a shit. I mean, that was like living in the country, man. It was,
So when G-Man Screams come to Jersey City, you could.
I could have, yeah, but now I'm living in Arizona now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
in a
traveled
much
across
more
the
civilized
country.
place.
Yeah, if you like evangelicals. I didn't know there were that many that it was like inundated with the evans.
Yeah, there's a lot of evangelicals, some big churches around Phoenix, and like yeah, and then as you get closer to the eastern part of Arizona, it's very Mormon.
Yeah, well, Maricopa County, the county I live in, they still want to contest the election ballots and all that stuff. It's like pointless at this stage, but they're still engaged in it. The local government here is still engaged in trying to fight to get Trump reelected. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just cuckoo. I don't.
Well, Arizona's a weird state because they have a lot of like, let's not put laws on the books, and like people can ride in the back of a pickup truck and shoot guns, bing, boom, bing. But then all of a sudden, like they'll be like, oh, so you have some of the looser laws in the West with guns and all this stuff, but then they go, oh, but crossbows are illegal. Like, what?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, not being able to sit in the back of the truck is against my Second Amendment rights. Where else am I going to be able to shoot a machine gun mounted in a vehicle? I mean, come on.
Well, then you have to have a mounted machine gun. Then.
Yeah.
Well, sir, couldn't you ride in the back of the pickup truck if you had a tie off, like you were strapped in? Like some kind of seatbelt?
You could do like a cutout in the back? You mean like turn the seat around?
Yeah, or just like you have the pickup truck, you have the cap on the back, right?
I think if I was doing that much,
and you put a cupola in there and you put the machine gun in there.
Yeah.
Are you using crew cab and put it in the back seat coming out of the roof?
I would mount the machine gun in a turret that had a chair that I could buckle into.
Yeah, that's fair. See, you can still do it. You just can't ride in the bed.
No, don't do that.
Oh, by the way, my next, I don't know if anyone pays attention to me on Discord. My next project is a Sten gun. I'm sure it's going to fail horribly because Sten guns suck.
That?
A what gun?
You've probably seen a Sten gun, even if you don't know the name. It's a World War II. It's a weapon that was used during around the World War II period. It's the submachine gun that has the magazine that goes into the side of the gun.
Sure.
You've probably seen it in pictures or video games or something.
Yeah. Submachine guns are a pain to handle because they you have to shoot in really small bursts, right? Otherwise it goes flying everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the ammunition. If you're shooting 45 calibers or 45 like the Thompson is, then it goes everywhere.
Yeah, I actually fired.
Just don't shoot long range with it. You're fine.
If you're shooting like a 38 special, it's going to go a lot less of everywhere.
There's a 45 caliber. It's called a grease gun.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, because that was standard issue for M60 tank crewmen's, along with the 45. Kept the 45 here, and a grease gun. The 45 caliber grease gun was strapped to the inside of the turret. So yeah, and when you shoot it, it veers off to the right. It goes. So you have to always, when you shoot it, you have to go to the left a little.
Yeah, and some people that don't know guns have probably seen them in a show because they look at a glance a lot like an MP40.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's German. Is it MP40?
Yeah, MP40 is German. The M3 is the grease gun. That's the American one, right?
Yeah, it's the M3. Yeah.
Yeah, they use the same magazine as the Sten gun.
Yeah. The Americans put it in from the bottom, and the Germans put it in from the side. So yeah.
By the way,
are you looking to get one, sir, or what do you mean is your project?
I'm building one.
You're going to build one?
Yeah, I'm probably going to build 2 of them.
So you're a machinist?
Well, I have machines, but I'm an FFA. I'm licensed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I can have machine guns as long as they're registered. Well, I guess anyone can have machine guns as long as they're registered and legal. But I don't have to pay. I do have to do that. I can't transfer new ones to people, basically.
But what about like firing pins and stuff like that?
Well, these Sten guns they have fixed pin in the bolt, or they won't have a pin that actually goes back and forth with a hammer.
It's a piston.
Yeah.
Like a big piston.
So
yeah, I mean, some machine guns are real easy actually to build.
I am going to close this pretty soon, but Han asked a question, said, what are your thoughts about the U.S. leaving Afghanistan? I'm just going to say that I don't think we should have gone in the first place. But since we were there and we tried to establish some things, now we've set up some, particularly women, in a very precarious situation where they're going to get murdered. And so I think what we should do, if we're going to exit like this, I think we should consider what we did in 1975 with Saigon and actually, I don't know, evacuate and rescue certain people that are high risk for being murdered. But that's my take. I don't know what other people think.
I would agree with you if America wasn't held to a standard of keeping their word. So America made a deal that they wouldn't evacuate a bunch of different people.
With who?
With the Taliban.
Wow.
Yeah, they're limited in the scope of. See, they can't even leave the airport, right? That's why the British are the ones driving around getting people and bringing them to the airport. Because the deal was that the Taliban wouldn't basically attack any foreigners during getting taking everyone out of the country, as long as the Americans stayed in the airport.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is going to
so-
end in a lot of death.
Well,
for people.
yeah.
Well, those kind of things are made to be broken, aren't they?
I mean, kind of. The thing is, if America breaks it, right? So right now, what you have is, I think the French are doing it too. So but it's mainly the British. The British going around getting all these foreign nationals, right, and other American citizens and some contract workers and stuff, and bringing them to the airport. Now, if America leaves the airport and starts also doing it, then what you have is basically the war breaks out again. Only this time, the Taliban and the soldiers and all the civilians are intermixed in the same place.
Wow. That would be a catastrophic
Yeah,
mess.
there is a deal for a peaceful withdrawal, basically. Now, America, I have no doubt that America could handle it, but I think more people would die, at least in the short term, if America broke its deal. I think what we should do is do to the Taliban what the Taliban's war tactics are, which is basically just fight guerrilla wars. Right? Because the Taliban wants to control the country, which means they have to be in the open. And now all we have to do is arm sympathizers to us and fight guerrilla wars against the Taliban.
I mean, essentially, that's what the U.S. tends to do, is throw money at whoever's convenient to start a fight, and then that person kind of grows. So one time it's Al-Qaeda is the problem, next time it's ISIS is the problem, but the crazy thing is people like McCain are involved in arming ISIS, so it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a group of people in Afghanistan, though, and I forget what the name of the region is, but they've basically been autonomous even before America came in, and they were fighting the Taliban before we even got there.
Anyways, I gotta go to bed, guys.
That I think we should probably support. Yeah. They're closer in ethnicity to Pakistan. Right, they're a different kind of Muslim, and other than fighting the Taliban, they've been peaceful.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have to look up their name again.
Are you talking about the Sufis?
No, it's not the Sufis.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about a countryman, or are you talking about a religion? Like, usually out of Islam, Sufis are pretty chill.
Yeah, I mean, these, I forget what the kind of Islam they are. But they're ethnically different from everyone else in Afghanistan. They live in the mountains, like northeast of Kabul. They're mountain people. They've been fighting the Taliban along with us the whole entire time also.
Oh, yeah.
They've basically been fighting the Taliban for like the last 50 years.
Yep. Don't know. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about them until like a week ago.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I saw films. I saw a film of an American force that was pinned down over in Afghanistan by the Taliban, and they were being assisted by guys with rocket launchers, and they were coming from the hills, and they couldn't figure out where the rockets were coming from, but they were shooting at the Taliban, and I was totally confused by the whole thing. And it was only like a minute and a half video.
Yeah, it'd be their resistance force, basically, like what
So
Serb's saying. Yeah.
I think that was part of it. That what I saw. That was a while ago, though.
Yeah, I read it on. I was looking. Whenever I'm out somewhere and I have to basically sit and wait, I read Google News.
Right.
And I read it on there like 4 or 5 days ago. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, interesting. Well, maybe guerrilla wars might be the way to go, but
I think it's so.
Still,
so here's the thing: America was always going to lose this war overall, because America was playing a short-term game, and the Taliban was playing a long-term game, which have very different rules.
They've been fighting for what, 50 years? The Taliban's like all about long game.
Yeah, they were fighting way before we got involved. So,
but I mean, their goal in the game is basically fight until we give up. Our goal in the game is fight for like one specific goal.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a goal that we can fail at, and the only way they can fail is if they're all dead.
But the frustrating thing is they set up this democracy knowing they really kind of know on the back end it's going to fail, and they set up particularly women in power and stuff like that and highlight them, and it's great women are getting educated and in power, but knowing that this is going to happen to them on the back end, knowing that they're going to come for them and kill them. Like it just, ugh.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: modern sensibilities about war, right, were made predominantly in the West for Western countries to deal with other Western countries because they had similar ideals, right? The Taliban played by the old rules, which are actually more effective in general. So you kind of have to, when you're fighting someone like the Taliban, if you really want to win, you have to be kind of biblical about it.
Biblical?
Right? You have to, you have to do things like sweep in and take all the women away. Like you have to do crazy shit to win.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not saying kill the women. I'm just saying remove them from their company.
He's saying if you want to be absolutely ruthless and demolish a whole people group.
Yeah, you basically
like they did back then.
Well, if that's their way of thinking, that would be devastating, right?
Because we are more at war with the culture than we are with the people.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, I think Hitler understood that. Like, I mean, look what Hitler did to Poland. Poland's history, Poland's art, like one of the most just wrecked countries historically, because he just wanted to demolish them like they never existed.
Yeah.
When you have a culture that's fundamentally opposed to yours, right? The people that are raised in that culture will always hate you. Right? So even if you go to war and win and then leave, you're just going to go to war with them again in like another generation.
Yeah, that is an interesting. So yeah, there are so many interesting things. Like we were seeing, like where like like ISIS was getting crazy and they were like just destroying everything, boom, 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 and like they were taking that sort of destroy all art, destroy all temples, destroy all history kind of stance, it was to basically silence and quelch any future generations. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. It's wrong. It's fucked up, but it is a tactic that can work.
I would be. I mean, I'm generally against mass immigration, but I would be totally for allowing every woman in Afghanistan to migrate to the United States.
I would probably support that too at this point. Like I think that's one of the most upsetting things is to be female in Afghanistan. It's the most terrifying thing.
I would be much more wary about letting the men come over, though. They might have to stay back, with a handful of exceptions, like the people that helped us.
Well, I have to go to bed. I am exhausted and I do work tomorrow. But tomorrow, I will be hosting Thirsty Theist, and my guest will be Divine. And Divine wants to talk about online activism and that kind of world briefly. So if you want to join us, it's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's apparently my dogs are going to scream at each other. So they're having an argument over the ball again, of course, because we have like 5 different balls in play, but they want the same one. Anyway, so join us tomorrow. We'll do a friendly softball interview, and then maybe like a Q&A at the end. So that'll be a thing. And let me go back to the panel. Gio, thanks so much for popping in. It's a pleasure having you. Gio, you have a channel, don't you, that you do, or do you do content at all?
Yeah, it's called GeoSam. It's a graphics arts channel dedicated to the free open source program GIMP, which is a raster graphics editor.
Okay, very cool.
So I make video tutorials and stuff demonstrating how to use the program. And I also every Thursday afternoon I help produce, and I'm on the A Bit of Tea and Danish, her show. So we do that, and then I do One Ring 42 is his channel, and we do secular D&D every Saturday afternoon. So check out those 3 channels.
All right, very cool. And then, sir, where can people find you?
Man, you can't find me. I find you. That's my thing.
He's here and there in various Discords, various chats, but I see you on Brojo's a lot.
Yeah, I'll jump into Brojo's a lot. I just want to say real quick, because I found the name. They're the Tajiks that inhabit the Panjshir Valley in Afghanistan, if people want to look them up.
Tajish?
Yeah, Tajiks.
Tajiks. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll look that up. I'm looking it up right now on Wiki. All right. Well, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Holy Spackle.
All right. Thank you. It was a pleasure having everybody. These are open forums. The opinions expressed are not necessarily my opinions, but we try to get, various positions and stuff like that. So if you're upset at, like, for instance, what happened with the Chris Chan stuff earlier, again, people are allowed to have their opinion of why they feel that way. So I'm not incredibly politically correct, but just so you're aware that we are going to have varying opinions that sometimes may be frustrating in open hangs. So I got a little message about that, and I just want to explain. Anyway, I am going to head out for the night. Appreciate everybody popping in. And then tomorrow we'll have that interview. And until next time, see ya.